All right, everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Jay Banks. Tuesday, you know what time it is.
Hey.
What's cracking, AI? How you feeling?
Feeling great, man. Life is great. Things are trending in the right direction. It's awesome.
You know what's funny, man? I when I came and sat down in the pilot chair again, I looked around and I was like, oh no, dude, there's like, it was just catastrophe from last week. It was like all the towels and everything we're using for those Pocky chips. Have you had the Pocky chip yet, bro?
The one chip challenge.
They fire.
Oh, it is
literally fire,
literally
bro.
Fire, yeah.
All right, since you heard the voice, we're gonna go ahead and turn it over to the other side of the table. We got my guy Bobby in town.
Yes, sir.
And bro, the store looks amazing.
I appreciate it.
Legit vintage, which has you've been doing the eBay thing for a long time, and this is like since I've known you, you've been doing the all the vintage stuff. You just like, do you just go to like estate sales and pick this stuff up? Because now it's a lot harder to try to find these relics, right? Like
sure.
10 years ago, you were one of few doing it. Now it's like everyone's trying to get on the train, and everyone knows about dead stock and all that stuff, man.
Right. Yeah. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. So like, well, it's a trade-off. That's what I mean. So to your point, when I first started, I was one of the only Cincinnati cats that was doing it, and the thrifts were plentiful.
Oh yeah.
But like, one of my go-to thrift spots from back then is like totally dry now, because instead of just like 3 of us, there's like 30 of us.
Oh yeah.
So the supply's gone
all looking
down.
for the same thing too.
Right. But the popularity's gone up. So the good news is there's plenty of food for us all to eat. So my lane that I specialize in is dead stock, and I kind of saw the writing on the wall with the thrifts getting dried up, and I just wanted a point of difference. So I was like, how do I find stuff that is harder to find, that is worth more and in better condition?
Right.
And so that's why I started going the dead stock route.
And you know what's smart about that, man, is being in the lane that you are, like you've got a big tie to the 90s anyways, right? So like
for sure.
A lot of the stuff that is popular now, that was popular in the 90s, it's like the masses know about it, right? But then there's people like you that go, hey, Pony, like the shoes, Ponies, like that shit's fire, and it was popular in the 80s and the 90s, right? So like, the kids today, like, they don't know about Ponies, like, you know what I mean?
I'm trying to put people on to those brands that are a little lesser known, but it's like if you know, or real ones know. So like Pony, that's a great example. They sponsored like Spud Webb.
Oh yeah.
LA Gear, all these brands of yesteryear that are not the Nikes of the world, not the Supreme, because that's like, I always think of this quote from Weeds when Nancy Botwin's suppliers like,
nice.
Drugs sell themselves, Nancy. You ain't shit. So, like, I think personally it's easy to sell swoosh stuff. It's easy to sell Supreme stuff.
For sure.
But if you can tell a story and get people to buy in and understand and appreciate, again, I'll just reference Pony, that's when you're really doing something. And that's, I have a big eBay presence. I got over 2K items up on there. I've been doing it for over a decade. And I got a lot of dead stock sneakers, a lot of Pony sweatsuits, just like everything. I basically, because I think if you're going to be in the footwear game, that's kind of, you need to be in that game and that game only.
Right.
So I dip my toe into it a little bit. But like, if you think about when a sneaker comes out, you get the whole pack, right? They'll release like a snap, a tee, a track jacket, shorts, yada, 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 yada. I have like the dead stock OG set to kind of go with the shoes.
Right.
Is how I kind of have described my vibe in the past.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense though, because like when it comes to like nostalgia or anything that has like not relatability, but like the collectibles, they're how do we explain it that one time, man? We were talking about collectibles, and it's almost like if they put it out as a collectible, it's not going to be a collectible. It's one of those things where, like, if it flops in the 90s or 80s, those are the ones that end up coming back tenfold and being worth so much more, man.
Yeah, all the stuff that people hold on to are like, oh, yo, this is going to be a collector's item one day. That's the stuff that everybody else held on to.
Yep.
So it's like a supply demand, a scarcity thing. Like Beanie Babies is always front of mind for something like that.
Right.
Like or like the junk wax era for baseball cards. Like, I kept all mine, and most of them aren't worth shit.
Right.
I mean, there was that little bubble during COVID where, like, but then it's also like when everybody's on that wave, it kind of cancels out, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just found all my baseball cards, man. I've got all the old wax packs. I got probably
Dude, I literally give them away still.
Oh, no
like free
shit.
with purchase, or
Yeah.
like if you cop something, it's like a certain price point threshold. Like if you order something for like 50,
Mm-hmm.
as long as it's not gonna make it cost more to ship, I love giving people a little free surprise, like some 1989 Topps baseball or something like
That's
that.
fire,
and in
bro.
the store, there's $1 a pack.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I used to I had the Saved by the Bell cards.
Oh, so did I.
So I bought a bunch of them on eBay, and I was selling them for like $2 a pack.
Yeah.
But if you found the refractor card, you get it was a $25 gift card for the store. You know what I mean? So it was cool. But then like this was when I had the old store in Dayton. But I had these kids coming in, and they were just $2, $2, and it was like they're up like 7-8 packs, and I'm like, bro, like. You have to. This is bad for you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you could have just bought the shirt at this point.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was like me in the late 90s and early 2000s. I spent from age 8 until I discovered girls like 95% of my money on baseball cards.
Yeah,
And the rest was on like Wild Cherry Pepsi and Cracker Jacks.
bro, we're like the same same person, bro. It was Wild Cherry Pepsi, old baseball cards, basketball
I
cards.
still have all those junky free prize included Cracker Jack things. That's another thing. I go, oh, I'm going to save these. These will be worth something. Nope.
Yeah.
Happy Meal toys, by and large, nope. But it's all those obscure things like the bootleg Rodman tees with the different color hair and stuff like all those. The street like rap tees.
Yeah,
Not a reprint from now, but an OG like street vendor rap tee. If you find a bunch of those dead stock and they're at Drive Route, like those are what hit. But back then it was just like whatever. People like kind of shrugged at them.
right.
But it's all that stuff that people shrugged at that has the really high value now.
For sure. Yeah, like Bradford Exchange is a is a company. They're still around. They still print like all kind of collectibles, and they're all numbered and labeled. And like I grew up in Chicago, so it was all Michael Jordan, all Chicago Bulls, and so my mom would buy those plates. They're literally like it looks like a plate for your kitchen, but
Yeah.
it had the gold foil on the edge, and it had like a photo of Michael Jordan or a photo of I think they were all Michael Jordan actually, but she bought those because they think these have to be worth something down the road, right? But Bradford Exchange, they put them out as collectibles, so they're only worth as much as they were when we paid for them back in the 80s. Man.
Yep. It's all about the population.
Yeah.
Like Salem Sportswear probably made a caricature tee of MJ. Like it's way scarcer, or like a Chalkline Fanimation.
I was gonna say Chalk Line's fire, bro. Like they, Chalk Line's actually one of the guys that I know out in LA. He does a lot of clothing.
What's his name?
Ricky Lee.
Oh, okay, I know Curtis Linden, who's done a lot of design work for them too.
Okay, yeah. So Ricky, it might be the same company because that building, it was an entire block in LA, and it was like 4 buildings, and then like the inside, it was
like back in the day.
no, this was only like 2 years ago.
Oh
I was
yeah.
down there.
They probably know each other.
So they, but they relaunched Chalk Line.
Right,
So he was
right.
showing me like all the jackets that they're bringing back and all that, and it's like, man, like you don't realize how cool that stuff was. And Chalk Line was basically like a generic starter
Yes,
back in the day,
totally.
right? Like they were not generic starter because they were popular, but they were trying to swim
They
that
were riding that
stardom.
wave. It was like
Yeah.
a satin snap-up jacket. How do we make it different?
For
'Cause
sure.
Most of the starters were just like the small left chest. The crazy starters are the ones with the big, like black bulls with a big bulls patch on the back, or Raiders or something like that.
Yeah, you're talking the pullover jackets, like
No,
like
no,
that
not
one?
the parkas, like the 80s, early 90s, like satin snap-up with like a
Oh, yeah,
embroidered
yeah,
left
yeah.
chest and then a big patch on the back. But no, that's my childhood.
Mine
the
too, man.
parkas, man. I love those. I'm gonna have a lot of Bengals and other teams' parkas once it makes sense weather-wise, when it's not like a 90-degree heat wave.
For sure.
In the shop.
What's your favorite starter parka? Like what was the go-to one in the 90s?
So I had the Bulls one.
Yeah.
And maybe this is like a grass is greener, like brown hair people want blonde hair and vice versa. But my little bro had a Carolina one, and I really wanted that one.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite.
Yeah, I had the Bulls one. I had the Georgetown Hoyas.
Oh yeah.
And then I got the Charlotte Hornets one, because when the Hornets came out with they used the purple and teal, which is
Fire
like
colorway. And every little kid really like gravitated towards those. When I think
that
of a
crazy?
90s starter parka, that's the first one that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
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 And it's crazy too that the team came out and it wasn't red and black, it wasn't blue and black, it wasn't like red and blue, it was purple and teal, and it was like, holy shit, dude! Like this is such a cool looking combo.
Crazy colors.
Yeah.
They kind of paved the way for the Raptors.
Had the UK one.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
Yeah.
Nice, bro.
Love
sure.
UK.
For sure.
Dude, yeah, that UK hat that you've got on eBay right now is fire. The one with like the old, like really big, like funky letters.
Uh-huh.
There's
Oh yeah, the graffiti top of the world, I think. Yeah.
yeah. Those which one did I have?
Well, the Kentucky stuff that people go crazy for, they call it like the dick tongue, where it's like that old early '90s logo where the cat's tongue looks a little phallic or whatever. And
Oh.
people go crazy.
Bro,
for
it's
that.
definitely a dick. 100% sure it is.
Like the Little Mermaid VHS cassette or whatever. Like, you know,
Yeah.
all the Disney, like, how many dicks are in this Lion King scene or whatever.
yeah, I saw that you've got Beauty and the Beast too, the Black Diamond.
Yeah, I threw that up on COVID. That's a classic, like, example of, like, some weird, like, COVID bubble thing where, like, there was, like, a certain edition that went for some crazy money and
Yeah.
everybody started listing them. That's another thing that's, like, everybody held on to. Like, all my DVDs right now, I'm like, I'm going to save them for my kids.
Right. But that's the thing, man. Like I'm on eBay. I was on eBay this morning trying to find Eminem's Infinite album. Right, that was 1996. It was his first album. They've got reprints that it did in 2020.
Like an original pressing of the
Yeah,
the
the
vinyl?
the one that he sold out of the trunk of his car. Because I know there's some idiots that are around here that have it and don't realize it. Right, they're
Right.
trying to sell it. So like I'm just trying to find either the cassette tape or the vinyl or the CD.
Mm-hmm.
I found the CD. He wants $130 for it, and that's not bad.
How scratch is that joint though?
It's unopened.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
you're good.
Yeah, but it's like I'm not well versed enough to know. It says 1996 on it, and it's got Eminem's home address,
Wow.
430 East 8 Mile. I think that's what it said, but it was. But that's the way that you can tell if it's the original one that came out of the trunk of his car or the reprint with the label
See,
version.
that's what's so crazy. Just you have to be on guard for like reps about certain items you're buying. Like,
Oh,
is
yeah.
it real or is it fake? Definitely with sneakers now, but even with like the vintage, people are like reproducing really tricky, like high quality, close but not quite like retro stuff with like T-shirts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
All this, I see a lot of posts from like the Vintage Miner, for example. He's a good follow if you're just trying to be knowledgeable about vintage. Like, peep these tags, man. Like, be careful, fam. Like, here's the OG one, and here's the one that some dude in like Malaysia just made or whatever. And I'm
Right.
like, holy shit! Just like, I can't believe they're that popular that there's a
They
market,
can
there's like a
reproduce
black
it.
market. Yeah.
To reproduce
You know
it
what-
at that level. You know what I mean? Like to really make something vintage and to be intentional about the reproduction tells you the vintage market is just. I mean, it's just
hot.
it's hot, and it really is. I mean and like we were looking at your site earlier. Like you have some Rams.
Yeah.
Rams apparel, yeah. Rams are outside the Bengals. The Rams are my team. I saw Marshall Falk there.
Yeah.
Kurt
I
Warner,
got some
yeah, that's
greatest
cool.
show on turf era.
Yeah,
late
love
90s,
it.
literature. So I'm
Love
really
it.
banking on like 2000s NFL nostalgia to pop off.
Cool.
Whether it's like 2K or that's when I first started playing fantasy because I have like over 1,000 dead stock, new with tags when Reebok had the licensing. Well, and some Puma and like Champion and other brands around then, but mainly Reebok NFL jerseys that I'm trying to like blow out right now.
Dope.
So talking about like the reprinting the vintage stuff. Did you know the story about Upper Deck? Like the reason why they don't print baseball cards anymore?
Well, I kind of know the legend about like the Griffey rookie.
Yeah.
Because
So they did the same thing that we were just talking about. So they Upper Deck when the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card came out, Upper Deck was new to the game. And
Right.
and now all of a sudden that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card from that year, like the Upper Deck one's worth more than the Tops and the Donruss and all that shit. So Upper Deck went and started printing those cards again and then putting them out there as originals. And they got caught doing it, and the MLB pulled their entire catalog. Like
Oh.
you're not allowed to
when
work
did
with
like
us.
around what year did that happen? Like way after '89.
Yeah,
Shit.
I think it was just within the past 5 years.
Well, the baseball card game's about to get really fucked up because Fanatics is taking over.
That's crazy, dude.
I can't
That's-
believe it.
So like, I was trying to figure out what's happening with everything because Panini's always, they've been the go-to.
True.
For the past couple years, but
Right.
I heard they've
Like a
got
modern
like
day box.
yeah, I heard they have like 9 million. What do you call them when you have to send redeemables? So like I guess when you open the pack, some of them you can get cards redeemed. Like the thing says, "Hey, you won this."
Yeah.
Send it in, and there's like 9 million redeemables that haven't been fulfilled, and that's one of the reasons why like the baseball's like you're out of here. Fanatics is moving in because they still got 3 years on
They
the
like
contract.
overcommitted. Like
What-
they don't have enough to redeem what they said they could, or
I'm-
they're so backed up. Or?
I'm not sure what's happening, man. If like I've never gotten to the point where I've won a redeemable. Like I've gotten like an auto, you know, but a couple of refractors, but you know, I don't.
Nothing you're sending in. You're trying to claim.
Right, like I don't buy a bunch of them like I used to, but
Well, the last time I checked, when you went to get a card graded, there was a big queue for that now too. It was
Yeah,
like part
bro.
of the bubble. You know what I mean? It's just like COVID had taught me a lot of stuff. That Warren Buffett quote, I'm going to butcher it, but about like when everybody's like super excited about something, I'm running away, and vice versa. Like
Yeah.
when everybody's like baseball cards are the wave or crypto's the wave, I'm like, I don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to be the one left holding the bag.
for sure, yeah. I mean, especially with the sneaker game right now, man. Everyone's in
too.
here trying to pick up as many shoes as they can, and Nike's smart. They're starting to do these shock drops.
Nike's
where,
too smart.
Yeah, you know, so what they do is they'll release shoes today, and then you know they sell out today. They'll go on StockX. They sold them today for 180. They're on StockX for 220. You know, and then 2 weeks later they'll do a shock drop on the same shoes. So it's like
fucking up the resellers.
it's fucking up the resellers.
Because the buyer's like, wait, what if I just hold out for another shock drop or something like that?
Right. Yeah.
Well, I saw Foot Locker's like really in the tank right
They're down
now.
40% right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with pulling Yeezys off the shelves.
Well, that's another thing that a lot of people started doing during COVID around that time, or just even before that. Just that the sneaker resale market has gotten real crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's reached the pinnacle and we're starting to go back down. 100%. And I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think it needs to chill. It's got a little too crazy.
Yeah, I mean that'll happen. There's spikes in everything. It'll level its out, and something else will become the new. I mean, waves are come and go. You know, have you ever heard of the tipping point?
Yeah.
Tipping point. That's definitely something. Check it out. Hey, what up? Levy's still busy. But yeah, the tipping point's it's definitely a great read. But like that kind of like the waves that happen in different viral situations, it's interesting to see how like the trends of coming. Like you talked about earlier, like these certain pieces have made its way. You know what I mean? Like the ones that were shrugged off before,
Like
are-
stood the test of time.
yeah, like they make its way here, and now they're considered like cool or like cream of the crop or whatever the case may be. Like it's interesting to me because when I was little, like we talked about like the pullover or whatever, the UK one, I loved it just because it was UK. It wasn't about the clothing piece itself. I just wore it a lot because it was warm and it had my favorite team on it. Like that's
Right.
you know what I mean. And like now, like I mean, I had a Allen Iverson Georgetown jersey as a kid, a little one, and
He's
I don't
my
know.
second favorite player ever.
He is my favorite, yes. And
Hell yeah.
he, man, I don't know what happened to that jersey. My mom may have it somewhere, but like, if I could find that,
Oh, you got to find that dude.
dude, I had somewhere. Yeah, I had a few Marshall Falk jerseys. I mean, I had.
I got.
a lot-
I
those-
rarely do this, but I got into a little bit of a back and forth on IG from the personal account the other day, talking up Iverson. It was like 4 dudes, and it was like, for example, it was like if you Russell Westbrook, you add to him Curry shooting, or if you're Iverson, you make him 6'6" like MJ. Like, who would be the best of these guys? And I was like, dude, like MJ and Kobe have said if Iverson was taller, he'd like be the GOAT. So
Best
like,
ever, yeah.
I'm taking their word for it.
I agree.
Right.
Plus,
I
he's my
agree.
second favorite.
Who's your favorite?
MJ.
MJ.
Hey, all
Okay.
right.
It's probably your favorite, right, Jay?
For sure, bro. For sure. I
It's
hate
got to be MJ.
I hate this LeBron Jordan
No,
talk,
it's not
bro.
close. It's not close.
You know that the
I don't even have LeBron at 2. I got Kobe over LeBron.
yeah, me too.
Don't
So-
at me.
Right. You know what I say? Like when everyone tries to say that LeBron's better than Jordan, I hit him back with number 23. Who do you think? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
LeBron, I just saw on IG the other day that it came out, and I already knew this, but it was like LeBron way back when was advocating that they retired 23 across the league,
That'd
as
be-
they should.
Yeah, that'd be fucking insane, dude.
LeBron, I like LeBron. I'm not trying to shade LeBron. Like, he's from Ohio. Like, I really, really, really like LeBron, but to me, it's not even a conversation. About
Right.
the
I mean, I've been
fair.
a LeBron hater for a long time.
Yeah, he
the
is.
past 2 years, like it's hard to hate that guy, right?
Yeah.
Because he does a lot of good, and the only thing I don't like about him is he considers himself the GOAT. Jordan's never called
yeah,
himself
like
the
when
GOAT.
he did that,
But
the
Jordan
barbershop or whatever, he's like, and
considers
that's when
himself
I
the-
became the GOAT.
Jordan-
Like, dude, you don't say that.
But at the same time, that end doesn't bother me. Like I consider LeBron over totality career. I consider him the greatest.
We
Yeah.
got a LeBron defender over here.
Yeah, bro.
He knows that. He knows. But like in my mind,
Fucking piece of shit.
Michael Jordan considered himself the greatest the entire time. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what's the difference? It's just Jordan didn't have the cameras like LeBron has on him, and like at the end of the day, like if you put Jordan at any
I mean,
era,
he did. He just didn't have the internet. But
yeah, but it wasn't the same
see,
cameras.
I would say this is a generation
this-
thing, but we just talked about how old we are, and we're too close in age.
Yeah,
so.
this isn't generational to
Okay.
me. This is
Fair
just
enough,
This
fair
is just
enough.
you put LeBron in any era, he's probably the best player at any time, just because he's such a machine, bro. His physique, his shootings, but everything about him is just his athlete, and you put him in any era at any time
If you're
period.
building an NBA player in a lab, you're building LeBron. Just MJ was prettier.
Now, if you
he
get-
was silkier.
yeah, if
he
you
had
give-
that "fuck you" energy that Kobe had.
Now-
Kobe was the closest
now,
we'll
if you're
ever see to
putting on
MJ.
the- on
LeBron
the-
doesn't have that.
Right, and then the Mamba mentality to me is right there with Jordan's. So like,
Totally.
but like those are mentalities, and those are just ways of living. Where LeBron comes from a different. LeBron was like, I shouldn't have been here because I came from Akron, I came from this, I shouldn't be here. I am this. So like their stories are so different, and they play different positions, so it's really kind of hard to compare. But
True.
I do put LeBron in any era. Even
Well, his
with
totality is
even with
staggering.
Magic, if you would put him up against Magic, I would take LeBron's team over Magic's.
I would too.
Yeah,
I have him over Magic.
Yeah, and that's
him
yeah.
and Kareem, just for the longevity
Yeah.
and how they kept their bodies on point, is like
Yeah.
massive respect.
LeBron just has a lot of money he gets to put towards his body, so he can keep himself in line because
True.
he's not alone in that battle.
MJ and
there's-
Iverson
there's
were
a-
like
there's-
vampires. That's what makes it crazier.
Yeah,
They'd
that-
be out all night.
Right,
or
right,
whatever.
yeah. I mean,
You
dude,
know what I would like to see? I would like to see the refs actually call basketball as it should be. You know what I mean? Traveling, carrying the ball.
Yeah.
And let's see how pissed off LeBron gets in the first quarter.
I
Yeah.
don't like that he
LeBron-
whines as much. Like
Yeah.
MJ would have yelled at a ref. LeBron kind of just like, I don't know.
LeBron,
kind of a baby
LeBron's
sometimes.
issue is LeBron is bigger guy, so when he goes into the thing, he's always getting fouled.
That's true. It's like Shaq. It's like, how do you officiate this guy?
Exactly. So that's
That's
just
true.
play on there. So like he's always getting fouled. So he just over the years he saw people.
He has
getting
a point, but
fouls.
he's also flopped a bunch, and I've never seen a single highlight of MJ flopping.
True.
No.
MJ didn't flop, and that was a different era. Flopping came when they started softening the league.
True.
Because they got rid of hand checking, and as soon as they got rid of hand checking, things changed. So like the dynamic of the game has changed entirely, and that, and also in return of like the Euro League and Euro stepping has allowed traveling to be a little bit more.
Like Harden.
Yeah, Harden, but they took away that extra little baby step. He can't do that anymore, and now he's not a different player, and now he's no longer MVP quality. That's kind of funny how that works, but because his athleticism
crazy.
hasn't changed much. Yeah, it was just a strategy
Yeah.
when you do a little extra
Stutter
little step,
step, yeah.
and but that's like it's like what was the sports time? It was like 3.5, 4 inches of extra space, and to him that's a mile, so he can get the ball out. Because him and Steph Curry, they're like some of the fastest releases. They just do it fast and they're good.
Curry's
But-
crazy, man. I want to see
yeah.
Curry on the
Curry's
senior
like a
PGA.
quick-
He's
Bro, he's good at
That's
everything.
crazy.
he's like the
dude.
greatest hand-eye I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's got some
He's
gifts.
probably like picks up drumsticks and is like, you know,
Yeah.
all world. It's just
He
like,
just blacks out. He's just
Yeah.
like, what happened?
I don't even know. It just came out of me. Right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like LeBron. I wish he would
I
have
have no
played
problem with
tight end
either
for
way.
the Browns like 1 year.
I take an objective route because like I still like AI first and
Okay.
foremost, and like I'm a UK fan, so it's always like Tony Delk and you know.
Oh wow, throwback.
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah, when
Prince.
I first started, I had dead stock Converse UK, like the official, authentic, like shorts,
That's so dope.
and a couple jerseys, like Ron Mercer. I love all.
Ron
my
Mercer?
dad went to UK
Okay, cool. Yeah.
for a little bit, for a hot minute. He
Yeah,
graduated
yeah.
for UT, but I love.
I was down there, too. I graduated
Pitino
from
and
the
Tubby
Rose, too.
Smith era UK
Yeah.
basketball. Walter McCarty.
Yeah, bro.
All those Antoine Walker.
Dude,
I
Walker.
love those teams,
Dude,
man.
I was even when Rondo came through. I'm still a Rondo
Yeah.
fan. Like even up to that point, but even before that, like Mercer. I mean Walker. I mean Tayshaun Prince. When
yeah,
he-
I love Tayshaun.
Dude, me too. And that's the thing is like it's a different era UK because once Calipari started it became a little more like Wild Wild West
Like
feeling. Like these
Nick
players are.
Saban, Alabama.
Yeah, it really does. And like I mean,
NIL
I'm
kinda.
okay with the championship in 2012, but I miss the days of like college having the players play longer. I kind of wish they would go the different routes. You go college, you take the extra time.
It felt
you
more
go,
pure. Yeah,
it did.
I don't really fuck with college anymore.
Yeah,
Watch
that's G League. There's different, like the NBA's feeding through different
it's
different
like
areas now.
AAU teams borderline.
Yeah,
this year.
yeah, they figured it out. I mean, so college football's going to have to figure it out because they're doing the same thing. It's happening. Sports are changing quickly.
It's broken.
It is. But it was a private system.
Right.
It's a whole. The people think it's like the government. No. The NCAA is a private company. They can do whatever they want. They can monetize however they want. They can make any rules they want. If they want the football players to not go pro until they're a certain time, they can arrange it with the league and do whatever they want. Like, it's private entities.
Well, that's what I like about a lot of my product is it's from that kind of golden era, like the last era before it got a little like gross,
Okay,
like
yeah.
what we're describing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
through the late '90s, early 2000s. But it's just my whole thing. Like, I used to collect baseball cards for like the nostalgia, and this is all just a big nostalgia thing for me. Just like reliving my childhood, telling stories through clothing. Like I was a journalism major, and every time we write an article, I'd like have a tab open like online shopping. I'm like, dude, I really like clothes. How do I figure out a way to monetize that and not get like too high in my own supply?
Right.
That's why I started this.
And the one of the best parts about being in your position and having first of all the name Legit Vintage is genius, bro, because
Thanks, man. I thought about it for a while.
And you locked it in a long time ago, right? So
Yeah.
when people are trying to look up Legit Vintage, like, that's your name. You know what I mean?
I'm sure a lot of people. Well, I know a lot. I know some people have definitely tried to bite off that. But yeah, the craziest thing is, so this was in 2012. So this is like, just a little bit after Watch the Throne era. My runner-up name, and I'm so glad I didn't go with this. It sounds so dated right now and specific. Ball So Hard Vintage.
Oh shit!
Which kind of made sense at the time, but
Right.
then I'm kind of married to basketball, sporty stuff. It sounds like 2010s hip hop. So Legit is so ambiguous, and that's why I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, it's legit, like it's real, like not fake, for example, or like it's legit, like that's sweet. And then so, it's technically called Legit Vintage, but for the store, I intentionally shorten it just to Legit.
Yeah.
I think it looks better. It's visually
Clean,
stronger.
yeah.
It's clean. I can have, like for graphics and stuff, I can have some modern stuff in there.
Mhm.
Because I used to work at Plato's, so I've done, just let me rattle off my retail background like super fast, like Hollister, Forever 21 when they had a men's section at Tri-County, Urban Outfitters for sure, which is when I started this, Plato's, Homage. So I've, from Plato's, I'm trying to kind of have like friendly price points like that. Like, because my least favorite thing walking into any store, and I appreciate your guys' price points, is feeling like intimidated or stressed out by like, it's like, is this jacket's $900? Like,
Right.
come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm afraid to like touch anything in here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Right, yeah.
literally as soon as you come into the store, and this is so intentional, I have like a $5 bin.
Yeah.
I want people from all walks of life to feel welcome there and to just feel like there's stuff that they want there. Because it's one thing to feel welcome. It's like, cool, they're nice and the prices or whatever. But like, I want to have like cool, functional, wearable shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? I've always been so underwhelmed, no matter where I am. This isn't specific to Cincinnati, for just like men's clothing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's either like, it was like back in the day, it used to just be like Joseph A. Bank and like dress clothes and like that's it. By
Right.
the way, like here's some free game to somebody who wants to do it because I don't want to do it. But like there needs to be like a Plato's Closet for like white collar professional dude clothes.
Oh,
So dudes
yeah.
don't have to pay like $50 for an Oxford and just walk. Because every dude, myself included, I don't know about you guys, like have a bunch of dress clothes in your closet that either don't fit you anymore or you're never going to wear again. They're just sitting there if you haven't
Right.
donated already.
Right.
I really think somebody that has like a professional background, that could be a nice side hustle, just like a Plato's for like your wedding suit that you bought or whatever.
Yeah, do like a Snooty Fox, but
Yeah.
for guys.
Right.
Snooty dads.
Gentos or something.
Now I'm trying to elevate it a
Gentlemen's.
little bit from that type of concept, but the sort of the democratic,
Okay, I
not
see.
highfalutin
Oh,
energy
okay,
from
I
a
see what you're saying.
Plato's I really associate with.
I got you.
Because
Right.
having worked in OTR, and Homage honestly is like the most approachable retail clothing store down there in my opinion.
I love
Price
it.
point
Yeah.
wise, silhouette
This is
wise.
incredible.
That's cool.
Nobody's mad at a graphic T-shirt while they're waiting for a table, as opposed to like a $400 dress. Like again, no shade to anybody, but just like I want to have stuff that people can walk in and be like, I could have been wearing this when I came in. I could wear this out,
Yeah.
and it's only whatever $20. Like you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like
You're not scaring them away, and they
Exactly.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know
that's
you know
huge.
what, dude?
Yeah.
I was at
Solid,
the
bro.
the Mark Norman show. He's a comedian at the Taft Theater.
Yeah.
He was there on the 18th, and somebody was there. And what shirt was he wearing? I don't know if it was a TNC Surf Designs T-shirt or I think it might have been an LA Gear T-shirt. And
Nice.
I saw him and I was like, bro, love that shirt. And he was like, thanks, bro. They wouldn't let me in with my white shirt, so I went down the street and just bought this for $20. I'm like, what? Like, it's got to be Bobby. Like, there's no other person here that would see this shirt and go, I need to put this in my store. You know
I'm
what I
trying
mean?
to carry shit that like other people don't.
For sure.
Like, people
Well,
come-
and just what you're saying with when it comes to like the high end, like not Goodwill for guys clothes, but you're thinking outside the box. You're going to Goodwill and all the Nike stuff and all the Bull stuff is taken, and what's left on the shelves are the old school polyester suits, the 3-piece suits, things like that are still on the shelves, and you're just thinking out 10 years ahead, going, hey, there's room for this too, man.
That's what takes a salesman to hustle stuff like that.
Yeah.
For sure. Because it's cool and it has resale value and it's desirable. And again, it's not just like stamped with the Supreme logo so somebody buys it or whatever.
Right. There's you remember the company American Rag?
Yeah.
So they started their entire company by going to Goodwills and buying the plaid jackets, and then they would redo the inside. They would put that logo in there, and they put the satin in there, and they would sell a used jacket at Macy's for $125.
I love when places start like that.
Yeah.
There's been so many origin stories of that nature, and I really associate with that. That's super dope.
For sure, and to think outside the box like that, because what we were talking about earlier, like when it comes to vintage, you only get one, right? So it's like if you found a Christian Dior jacket, which I've got like this real dope Christian Dior suit jacket that I found at a Goodwill.
Nice.
The sleeves are like here though. It's like it wasn't a midget that had the jacket, but whoever it has, they had a little
T-Rex arms.
T-Rex arms, bro. But like one of those, it's like, I could easily sell this jacket for $160 or something. But then once it's gone, it's gone. It's like I'm not going to have the Christian Dior jacket again. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like, what it is, I know there's probably at least one item that's sitting on the shelf that you're like, somebody picks it up and you're like, don't bring it to the counter. Don't bring it to the counter.
Like it's for sale, but I kind of don't want to sell it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have one. I'll tell you what it is. It's a 1992 Nike Gray Tag Dream Team graphic tank. And it's
Oh,
the only
shit.
one. It's white. It's white base with red, white, and blue. It's got all 12 players on it, with then they're in like black and white. And it's the only one I've ever seen. It's from the personal collection.
Mhm.
So right now it's kind of like 50% dead stock, 50% like what I could call it right now. It could be called legit, like AKA like Bobby's Closet Cleanout right now. It's just like
That's tight.
all my fire, one of one personal collection stuff that I'm starting to let go.
Yeah.
Whether it's like I don't like the fit, I haven't worn it in forever. When you met me, I had long hair, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had long hair for like a decade, so now it's all chopped off. Like I'm not
Okay.
rocking hats anymore, so like my entire snapback collection, I'm gonna really regret. That's when people bring the hats
Man.
up. Like this dude copped the Gatorade Sports Specialties the other day, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I'm making sure, like, I'm trying to give breaks on prices. The stuff that's close to my heart, though, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll make this like, if I'm debating like 50 or 60, I don't want to let this go, but for 60, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
but then
there's some
one of those things
heartbreakers.
where you're like, all right, I'm going to take 45 of that and I'm going to go try to find that fucking thing again to go buy it and then keep it. You know what I mean? Like, but that's the fun part about being in your position is like it's fun to sell the stuff, but man, is it fun to find it, bro? Like
I could definitely get used to the seller's high, but I know all too well that buyer's high.
yeah, bro, because
No,
it's
it's
like it is different. It's like because you get the high of being the shopper and getting to go buy stuff, but then you've got it in the back head going, there's money to be made here.
And
like
just the discovery aspect of it.
Oh,
It's
bro,
like
that's the
fun.
best.
It's like an adventure, man. Some of my dead stock digs have been so epic. Like, I really regret not, like, I wish I had, like, a GoPro on me for some of this
Right,
shit. Or
right.
documented it better back in the day. Because, like, dude, I got stories of some of the old mom and pops that closed downtown. Like, just crazy shit. Like 6 floors high, like 2 floors down in the basement, like bank vaults, just like wild shit.
Yeah, and that's so man, when it comes to like that '90s stuff, bro, like I would just love to be able to find. There was a shoe store. I can't remember where it was, man, but
In Cincy?
no, I think it was New York. It was only like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but they found like all old dead stock of all Nikes.
Oh, there's a student.
Adidas.
I'm going to butcher the pronunciations. Like Airkung, like AIRKEUNG 88 is his account. He specializes in like dead stock sneakers, mainly Nike, and it's all the mom and pops on the East Coast, like New York, Philly, Boston.
Yeah.
I used to have like FOMO about that. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, if I can drive my ass over there and like a bigger car than I have with like 10 racks. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I'm happy for the guy now. It's like, that's sick.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just love seeing the videos, man. Like, the basement, it was all dark and dingy and there's no light,
Right.
so they got
I
a
get
flashlight.
more joy watching that, like digging part of the video than like, here's the pair, like taking out the box or whatever. Like, that's fine. But just like the whole room where there's just like 1,000 sneaker boxes on the shelf. You
all
got, like,
unopened, bro.
Sauconys,
Just
yeah.
dust all
Right,
over
right.
them.
Free
And
dust,
it's
free
the
dust.
it's the old it's the old Nike boxes, the old Adidas boxes, and I'm
Yeah,
just,
the light royal blue Adidas box.
That's
the
it.
OG orange box. Because people buy Nikes now, and they probably don't even understand why the box colors. Even the boxes are like retro. You know what I mean? They're
For
trying
sure.
to recreate what the box like the airships, which are like what corporate's been rocking out.
Mhm.
Like their boxes are, and just all the branding and packaging with it is fire. That's half the experience.
we
man.
were talking about that today because I just got a pair of the V Friends Reeboks.
Yeah.
The-
I
the
wanted to.
Gary
I was
V's.
wondering what were in there. Oh,
Yeah,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
But I was hoping for a little bit more of a presentation, bro. Like it was Gary
part of
V,
it.
like, and he was, right away he's like, well, Gary V's very simplistic. Like I'm sure he
True.
just wants to get the shoes out. But as a consumer, it's like I was waiting to see that Gary V autograph, or even on the box
Give
on
me a
the
postcard,
logo.
give me a hang tag, just something.
Yeah, it's got a llama on the tongue.
Okay.
But and then it says V Friends on the side.
I
but
gotta check them out when we're done.
yeah, they're just the classic Reeboks, man. Old school. They're all white with the.
Is that
it's
his shoe? Does he just rock the classics or something? Or he just collab with them, I guess.
You know what? I think he rocks those shoes a lot. Actually.
I think so too. I figured.
I would respect the collab more if they're like, about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I thought the packaging was a little lackluster too. It was
Yeah.
just like
Man,
the
I gotta
Reeboks.
peep this.
Yeah, I mean, I expected more, but at the same time, like I was saying to him, like Gary Vee might think the cost of just getting the shoes out before going to that next level might be he's catching a wave because VCon just happened. I don't know. So, I mean, something. May
Well,
have-
the shoes were only $90 too. It's not like I'm paying $160, $220 for
Which is
the
like
shoe.
the Nike price point when they can afford a little
Bro,
postcard or
and
whatever.
Nike, they just keep raising the price, $5, $10, and it's like
Right.
they're just trying to get to the point where like, when does it not sell out?
Exactly.
And then we'll
It's
bring-
like,
and
wait,
then-
we
and
keep
then we'll
raising
bring-
it and people keep buying it.
Yeah.
But not only that, they keep selling out and they getting resale. That's why I don't mess with resale that much. And
Mm-hmm.
no disrespect to people who that's their living, like you do you. But like the retail price point for swooshes and J's is like pushing it for how much I want to spend to begin with.
100%,
So I'm like,
bro.
These are 180 and you're trying to tax me like 400 on these. Like, I'm just not doing that.
Right. Yeah, and it's a slippery slope too, man, because the way that
And the cost of
that-
production, is like nothing.
Yeah.
It's not like it's the highest quality shoe. It's
Right.
just people are willing to pay for the hype or whatever.
Yep.
I respect
It's all
that.
about the name on the shoe right
And
now.
the word that Nike uses internally, so I know they use is like energy. Their energy and the hype that they can get around a release of fill in the blank is like second to none.
Oh, it's insane.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I envy that. I'm like, man, because I love finding the stuff. I love researching it and learning about it, pricing it, selling it. Obviously, the marketing is like if I have an Achilles heel, it's that. Oh, here they are.
all right.
And I'm so jealous because Nike has it figured out. All right, let me check these out. Live Gary V unboxing.
Right?
See, that's funny because on the outside, it doesn't even. I was trying to figure out what they were because they were under that stack of tees, and
Yeah.
it doesn't say Gary V on it. You
Doesn't
know what I
even
mean?
say
Just to
Gary
let
V
me
on
know.
the tag itself, man.
Yeah, we're on here.
It
These are
says
clean,
V.
though.
It says
Oh,
V
there it
Friends.
goes.
Yeah.
Is that on camera? Yeah,
It
these
is.
are clean.
Yeah,
like this
they're
tag.
they're nice, man.
There's like a Stan Smith colorway is what it's reminding
Sure
me.
is, bro. But you know what though? I've got a pair of those. I've got the all white ones, and those shoes are so comfortable, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and that's one thing that Nike's kind of fallen on the wayside, bro. Like these shoes,
Comfy-wise, or-
yeah, comfy wise, man.
And just the fit. Yo, like I just want, like, how difficult does it make it just like I'm a 9, true to size 9. Like, I get stressed out over certain silhouettes, like, oh, it's a Hirachi, so I got to go a size up, or a Air Max, depending on year, I got to go a half size up. Like, bro, I just want to be a 9 across the board.
Yeah.
I think other brands are a little more consistent with that.
For sure.
And I finally started messing around with other brands besides Nike. Like, I'm a Vans guy all of a sudden, like with my boys.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
8 and 6-year-olds, so they got a lot of Vans.
Oh, dope.
So like first day of school, we're all in our Vans and Adidas. I really want Unheard Of's the other local shoe store.
Those
down
were
here.
so fire, bro. Those the ones that he brought up for his sister.
Oh yeah,
Those-
yeah.
I wish I would have got that.
Those
And
are
then
so
the
sick.
box on that was insane,
The
dude.
packaging and the storytelling behind that is on point. Kind of what we're saying we're lacking on those. But like the Gazelles and the Sambas that are coming back, like
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
starting to like I'm thinking outside the swoosh. I mean, I'm a Nike guy at the end of the day for sure, but I'm getting excited about New Balance is having a moment, obviously. So it's cool to see these other brands get a little bit of shine, and it'll help with like my ponies and those other slightly lower than Nike tier brands
Yeah.
with the vintage.
Yeah,
So it helps me.
You've got a pair of Forces on eBay, bro. That are they're
Yeah.
dead stock 10s. I was looking at them like these, bro. Like I might have to buy those, man.
Dude, there's a crazy story behind that buy that I did. I bought about like 100 pairs, dead stock, new in box, late 80s, early 90s Nikes, and the same shop had like 50 original, like the classic golden era 80s Nike posters.
Oh shit.
And I'm sitting on all those, and I refuse to. I really want to frame them before I put them up in the store.
For sure.
So that's one of the reasons why the display stuff is going to be for sale, because I have like, there's more where that came from. Put it that way.
Oh, dope.
Maybe not with a banner, but I'll replace the banner with the frame Nike poster. It's just like the coolest art. So awesome Agassi ones.
Yeah, bro.
The Supreme Court with all the NBA players in robes, and like the NBA nickname guy is just crazy.
Bro,
crazy shit.
I might blow your mind right now.
I'm excited.
Do you know Andre Agassi? His hair was a wig.
Yes, isn't that insane?
Dude, how crazy! Did you know that?
He was like catfishing
Andre
the world.
Agassi,
They
bro.
help not having like internet and shit.
His
like-
hair was a wig.
Yes, he had
Yeah, dude.
long, flowy, like
Yeah.
brown
He
hair.
was like known
it was
for his hair.
it's his haircut, just longer. It had the blonde in it, but it was a wig, dude.
Oh,
How crazy is that?
That's-
But
He's my favorite tennis player ever.
oh,
Yeah,
bro, for sure,
that's
for
wild.
sure.
He's got a really good autobiography, Open, I think is what it's called.
All right.
The same guy that did Phil Knight's
Oh, okay.
book.
Yeah, his
Good book.
Reebok pumps were fire, bro. The Agassiz.
Yes.
Like, and that's something else, man. If like,
Yeah, the Agassi retros are sick still.
dude, commercials, man. Like the commercials from the
That's what I'm saying. The
'90s.
branding, Nike's branding is so on point.
I still remember the commercial when he'd
Right.
hit the ball and he'd run down the street and fucking hit it again.
I
and
remember,
run down
like,
the
I
street.
think there was one with him and Sampras, like mid to late '90s. Where
Yeah.
they were playing like one-on-one, like in downtown New York.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he had a couple eras. Like he had like the wig era with like the bright, colorful shoes when he was like the brash bad boy from Vegas, being,
Yeah.
like, giving that fuck you energy. But then he shaved his head or took the wig off,
That's
and
right.
got clean and was more like minimalist. Like I have these the Air Flares, and they're white and black, but it's got that hit of Concord purple.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing. There's like these little Easter eggs kind of with Nike. So it's like the same Concord that was in the 11s from the same era. So just these same touches to kind of connect the dots.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, just what I respect about Nike is their slogan, "Just Do It," has been their slogan for like I think over 30 years.
Mhm.
Whereas like Adidas and Reebok will kind of change it up every so often. You
Right.
know what I mean? Just like find something, or their logo, find something super strong visually for your logo, and then just with the language for your slogan, just stay with it, and just the consistency of that, I think is really significant too.
For sure. Do you know? Do you know the Nike's original name?
Blue Ribbon Sports.
No, they almost went with Dimension 6.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
glad they didn't.
man, that would have been that, and that's the same thing as you're talking about
That's
with
their
Ball So Hard. Yeah,
Well, I was a little bit aware of the history of Nike, and I very specifically and intentionally did legit for kind of those reasons.
yeah. dope, bro.
I
I mean,
timeless.
it's all planned, right? Like you.
It's been my evil plan for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have that marketing mind where it's like we talk about. It's like a bow and arrow. You hold it back and then you position it and you make sure that you're ready to go before you launch that arrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just you don't go into it blindly because then you're gonna end up.
No, my number one, like my end game the entire time from like March of 2012 when I first started it was to have a brick and mortar and to have
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, I did it. So I've been accumulating the display stuff for like 6, 7, 8, 9 years before I had the store. Just like kind of stashing in my basement, just like it's all part
Getting
of the
ready.
plan.
Yeah.
Yo, what's the name? Where did the Royals used to play? That stadium that I think they tore down.
The
Yeah, they did.
Cincinnati Gardens.
Yeah, the Gardens.
Yeah.
On Everything But the House, when they first started, they were auctioning off like sets of 4 of the chairs.
Oh wow,
and
dude.
I copped. They're still in my basement. I had to pick them up in Northside. Oh, it was such a bitch. They're so heavy, but they're purple and they're the original seats from there. And I want to get them custom installed on the floor of the store. So like while you're chilling, like while your girl's shopping,
Hell
you're supposed
yeah.
to sit down and have a drink.
Yeah.
You're in the OG Cincinnati Gardens like stadium seats. So
That-
it's 4 connected.
That's incredible, bro.
That is incredible. That's so dope.
Have you
Yeah,
seen,
that's
have you
so
seen
dope.
somebody try to fix those? Well, I guess the chairs wouldn't be faded because it was inside Cincinnati Gardens.
Yeah, they're in pretty good shape. If anything, they probably incurred more damage in my basement than they did over the years there. But
Right.
I remember there was a packet when I bought them where you could there's a company that will install them in the ground for you.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just need to hit them up when I'm ready.
Yeah, yeah. They I saw videos where every couple of years that they'll go in with a blowtorch and they'll burn the chairs because like all the Reds chairs that are faded to like that pink.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They'll
Yeah.
take a blowtorch and they'll hit it real quick and it just melts the top layer of that plastic and it's bright red again,
molts
dude.
the layer of
It's
dead
it's,
skin.
Like when I showed it to Kaylin, she's like, "That is not real." I'm like, "I'll show you 30
I
other
did not.
videos."
I believe you. I did not know that. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's,
really cool.
I mean, it's so genius, man. Instead of having to replace all the chairs every 5 years or so, they go in with a
'Cause I've
blowtorch
seen
and just kind of
those faded
soften them up.
ones.
Take the layer off. Take the layer off. new
It's,
layer.
I don't know if it just takes the layer off or kind of just burns the whole top layer and just kind of lets it mold together.
Mm,
That's
You
pretty
haven't
sweet.
seen the video?
no.
Yeah, well, I'll show it to you later. It's pretty wild, bro. Because it's like he's just going right down the line, just hitting one chair after another, and it's pink to red, pink to red, pink to red,
That's impressive.
banana to yellow, banana to yellow. Like
Yeah,
he's
that's
killing
cool.
it, bro. That'd be a fun job, man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just
That would be
walking
a fun
around,
job.
just
That
just
would.
burning all the chairs.
Right.
It's like, oh,
It's
if I
therapeutic.
yeah,
Right.
I fucked up chair 126. No one's gonna know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Bro, so when it comes to
Line
like
of black.
vintage stuff, man, like my dad, when I grew up in Chicago, my dad he was a printer, so
That explains a lot about.
about what I do,
Yes.
yeah, 100%. And my mom did all the graphic design work for like newspapers and shit like
It's like
that.
the
So
perfect duo.
juxtaposition, man, it's right there. But so my dad he ended up becoming like the head manager when we moved out here to Kentucky, and they were printing Sports Illustrated magazines.
Oh, damn.
So bro, when I was like in 8th grade, freshman year of high school, like I was going to school with the Sports Illustrated swimsuit magazine like 3 months before it came out.
Dude, because that was newsworthy on the bus the day it came out. So I can't imagine Team Early with that
Dude,
shit. You were the most popular kid.
Man, my teacher took it from me, and I was
Oh,
like,
What a hater.
I'm gonna get in so much trouble. Like I have to get that back. Like I'm not even supposed to have this.
That's
thing,
not even in
right?
circulation. Right.
yeah,
That
yeah.
got backdoored to you at the house.
Yeah, yeah, and the teacher took it, and she's like, I'd get it back at the end of the class or at the end of the day, and I'm like, no way,
But
dude.
again, this is pre-internet, so that tangible analog, that was the thing. That
Kathy
was the-
Ireland, bro, was the Kathy
Oh, my
Ireland
God. Dude, I've
Sports
come across some
Illustrated.
dead stock Kathy Ireland graphic tees, workout shirts.
Oh shit.
That's the kind of shit where it's there's not a lot of hype behind it. It was probably sold at Kmart or whatever for real, but in person or on a pretty lady as a model, that shit's fire.
For sure.
I have an appreciation for that kind of stuff, a little more obscure dead stock. That's my wave.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, but some of the stuff that he printed, man, and my dad was smart. He was always pulling stuff, and bringing it back to the house. But I've got an uncut sheet of 4 Sports Illustrated poster or magazines. So the front and back cover, I've got I've got 4
Wow.
of them uncut, and it's the Michael Jordan when he was grandma,
Mm-hmm.
and then
I remember that.
and then I've got another one which was Tiger Woods rookie year. So it was when Tiger Woods was on the
Wait, are
Sports
these that side
Illustrated
for kids? Yeah. Okay, I remember these.
So
Yo, I those posters in the middle were like, I still have that Tiger one.
yeah, bro, and so like the baseball cards that were in there,
Yeah,
the
like
perforated
the thin
ones.
perforated. Yeah, like a sheet of 9, I think each. Yeah, those.
Sure
were,
was.
The Tiger one was worth a lot of money.
It's
some
worth
point.
like $50,000 if you can get
Crazy.
graded out of 10. I've got 4 of them at
Can
uncut
you imagine
sheets.
the miracle it takes to get that a perfect 10 these days?
It's got to
It's
be
gotta-
impossible.
Like dude, it used to come in the mail. The mailman would like fold it and just shove it in the mailbox, so it's probably fucked right then and there.
Right.
Then my dumbass trying to like
Perforate the
it,
lines.
and then just in storage, and then mailing it, and just like praying that it doesn't get fucked.
I know, and then like, what do? Can I send the whole sheet of 9 to them and let him
right.
cut
you
it
have to
out?
even yeah. I don't want this
Because
responsibility.
the Tiger one was dead center, so it's got perforated on all 4 sides, right?
So it's hard to get. It's not the corner.
No.
So there's more margin for error.
Yeah, but so also like along with those Sports Illustrated for kids, I've got like 10 of them that are. It was the Michael Jordan cover one, but the cards were inserted upside down. So yeah, so it was like the first.
I've never seen that.
The first batch that came out, like you're flipping through the book and it's completely upside down, where you can see the convergent line.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how much are these worth, bro? Like, because
Probably
not many
like
people have them. And Michael Jordan had a big falling out with Sports Illustrated, so like,
that. Yeah, bag it, Michael.
yeah.
Yeah.
I took that personally.
Right. Dude.
I like his vendettas.
That show that
Last Dance.
The Last Dance, I started
Last Dance.
Good,
crying
dude.
10 seconds into it, bro.
Dude,
Like-
the scene when they beat the Sonics and he's in the locker room crying after his first title he won after his dad died gets me every time on Father's Day.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think I cried 10 seconds into it too.
Yeah, bro, it was like, it started out with that and now yours, that it started out with that little twinkling.
So many like chills moments in
dude,
that whole
and
thing.
yeah, and Kaylin, like, she looked over, she's like, what is happening? I was just like, leave me
Yo,
alone.
my girl on the couch next to me was like, "What is wrong with you?" It was like us watching The Notebook, or it was like Notebook for dudes. Plus, it was like, it was the
It's
first
exactly
like
what it is.
entertaining thing. I don't want to make this a COVID podcast, but like, right during COVID, they would like, they bumped it up, and it was like, oh my god, something entertaining to watch.
Yeah. What's going on, man? Good, how are you?
So I was just so hyped that it came out, and it was very intentional, I think, when it came out, because your boy LeBron was getting some momentum as GOAT, and MJ's like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me fucking remind you who I am.
I think that's exactly what partially why it was timed when it was released.
Totally.
Yes,
He's
because
psycho competitive. So he was
Exactly.
trying to
He
play
consider-
one-on-one against Magic at the All-Star game a couple years ago for the 75th, I think.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go right now. Like, I love it. I
oh,
love
he'll
it so much.
play. He'd strap up right now. And, I mean, that's the beauty of like MJ, and like that's why his lore, like just the whole everything about him is just he's so
It's all
next
lore.
level. He's and that's the thing is like we talk about we've talked a few times how we all subscribe to the theory and conspiracy that Jimmy Butler is LeBron.
Oh, I believe that. I believe
LeBron
that.
Jordan's blood son,
He looks like him. He acts like him.
and he plays. I mean, he has similarities in his play.
Yes. Yes.
The thing is Michael Jordan would never take the DNA test. That one will never know. We will never know because that would be the worst PR to come out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
it
some
would.
Karl
Yeah,
Malone type
you,
shit or
yeah,
something.
so, right, exactly. So like that's the thing is, but
Mailman.
the mailman.
They called him the mailman for that reason, bro. That's what blows my mind. Like, we're
Yeah.
kids like calling this dude the mailman, and little do all of us know that he was just fucking everybody's wives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He creeped
Yeah.
on Kobe's misses famously. Or
Yeah.
Infamously. Not cool. Not cool. The other scene that always gets me is the last shot to beat the Jazz in Game 6, '98. That'll get me a little worked up in my eyeballs every time.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That was like I remember right where I was. We had a babysitter over who I had a crush on at the time. And then what's crazy is I didn't realize this like back then, but have you seen the image of like that little kid who was like my age, like holding up the 6 in the background, just so confident?
Oh, in the background of the image, yeah, the crowd,
in Salt Lake, in like head to
Yeah.
toe like bullshit, and he's just like, we got this. Like just that's how good MJ was. Like when the chips are down, down one with like less than 20 seconds left.
Clutch
in
time,
games.
yeah.
Yes, and he's like, my man's gonna come through.
Yeah, he comes through.
The other thing that helps Jordan's legend pre-internet is like not everything's recorded, so we're kind of like telling myths right now. You know what I mean?
Telling
like,
the stories.
you can't just go
of how
back
cool
and-
Dad was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's part of the argument we have. Like when everyone does LeBron Jordan debate and they go back and forth.
Well, nobody's rocking LeBron's casually. His sneaker silhouettes are not helping out his legacy.
No, bro.
Yeah, and I also say that like the
they're
movie.
they're not sexy.
I would say the movie making too is kind of weird on his legacy because
The Space Jam 2,
yeah, and like
not great.
it's weird on his legacy, but
I'm glad he did it though. I'm glad he did it.
it's interesting that he's going in that light and he's comfortable there. But also, what's not helping Jordan's legacy is his ownership.
That's true. That's
So
true.
his professional NBA.
Well, he's selling.
He is because he's not good. He's really one of the worst owners there is. So like because of that, it's not helping him. That's probably why he's getting out. He's like, my iron's still hot. I need to get out of this because it's not going to help me because things aren't great. But
Yeah, I'm
Jordans
a little
are always going to
disappointed by
carry
that.
him. Yeah. Jordan's going to carry him. But like LeBron is going to find another path because if he gets to play with his
Well, he's
son,
fixing to own. There's going to be a Vegas expansion team, and LeBron's going to
Mhm.
own it. I think.
yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
That's what I heard.
I will not be surprised if you start seeing a lot of these athletes they all start buying up all the franchises because like they're putting their money places and they want to put it right back in. LeBron's so different, Tom Brady is much the same. They're
the
all
Raiders. That's my
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
I love
yeah.
Brady. Oh,
Yep.
I love Brady so much.
Yeah. So, you Patriots fan or is like
No, I used to hate the Patriots. I
Oh,
actually,
okay. Okay.
my parents went to Tennessee,
Okay.
and my youngest
Peyton Manning?
sibling, my younger brother's name is Parker. Guess what? The runner-up name was Peyton.
yeah,
And he was
okay.
born in '94, so right when Peyton was there. So
Yeah.
I love the Vols. I love Peyton. I would always root for the Colts and against the Patriots. But at a certain point, kind of like Jeter, because I fucking hate the Yankees.
Okay.
When you've been doing it, when you're so amazing for so many years, I'm like, all right, just like shout out to you. I
Right.
might not root for your team, but I respect the shit out of you.
Right.
And then when Brady went to the Bucks, because I was born in Tampa, and he wasn't on the Patriots anymore, and he's like old, and it's just like, dude, this is like soak this up. This is crazy shit. Like this is like unprecedented stuff, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, wow, this is amazing.
I agree. I totally agree. And I think him going to the Bucks really helped Brady's overall PR in his life.
Well,
so
because the debate was him or Bill.
Exactly, and now it's just Brady and Bill's kind of there, and like that's the thing is, Brady made the move at the perfect time.
At age like 42.
Yeah, and then and I mean he didn't run off from the sunset like Peyton Manning because
Dude, I got
Peyton
a
this-
Tampa Bay Bucks debit card.
Oh, do you?
Oh, shit.
Okay, nice.
It's not as cool now, but
Sure.
when Brady was rocking with him, I freaking
absolutely.
love Brady.
Yeah.
That's
Their
my guy.
their stadium's fire. I didn't know you were from Tampa, bro. What?
I mean, for a hot minute, like I lived there for 2 years, but my parents lived there when they had me, and my mom's from Florida.
Okay. I started the whole clothing brand in Ybor City.
No way.
Yeah, so I moved out there. I think 2012.
I didn't realize. That.
Yeah, I lived there for 2 years, man. And you know what's wild is like, actually, it wasn't even Native brand. It was Accenture Clothing at the time, and it was I had like 6 designs. And when I went out there, there were so many stores all there in Ybor City that I was like, you know what, man, I'm just gonna offer it to one store and that's it, to get it like a bidding war. So it's like if this, if you don't want it, the store right next to you is gonna pick it up. So
Smart.
that's how I got into Ocean Drive out there. So they had my clothes down in Ybor City and the International Mall. But that's how I started the whole brand, man. I was just out there, just like acting as if, like when I went out there, like my clothing, like it wasn't obviously anywhere near it as now. It was still out of my backpack. But when I went
love
down
the
there,
out of the backpack stories though.
yeah, bro. But like when I went down there, I told him, I was like, hey, like this is big in Cincinnati. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm only gonna let one of you guys get a hold of it. So it's like it just worked out super simple, man. Right away, they were like, yeah, we want it. So I was selling T-shirts for $36 in 2012.
That's not nothing back then.
No, bro, it's crazy. And they weren't. It was one color silk screens. Like it wasn't even like.
Oh, I like this. What's that Steve Jobs quote? Simplicity is the ultimate form of sophistication. I really subscribe to that.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Just like a white tee with black or vice versa. But
Yeah.
I like Floyd from How Against the World. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
copping a sweater out of his backpack in the parking lot of Grammars in like 2010.
How dope
or,
is that, yeah.
Means from Black Owned. Like trapping out his car, coming into Urban when I worked there, and selling crew necks and stuff at his backpack as well. Like, I freaking love all that. And
Oh,
then to
yeah.
see people like glow up, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, bro, and I still feel like I'm in the minors, man. I'm trying to get called up. It's like, you know,
Oh, same.
How do we get to the next level? And it's like the whole thing needs to be on autopilot somehow. You know what I mean? Like that. That's when I'll start to feel comfortable. But until now, it's like, you know, still got to wake up every morning and hunt for your meal, bro.
I feel you.
So how do you go about finding your vintage clothes now? Do you hit up eBay? Do you do like estate sales?
So, everyone, what's crazy is I've only ever been to one estate sale ever, and I didn't find anything I wanted. So, shockingly, no. I actually have so much inventory right now. Like, a lot of content. I should just put this out here right now. Where's the camera? Like, I'm not buy, sell, trade. If you want to bring me something in for me to peek at, like, that's cool. Like, I'll look at it. Maybe we can do a trade, or maybe I'll just buy it. But, like, I'm like, sell. I have, like, I'm not kidding you. Like, I have, like, 10,000 items in storage that I've already bought. That
Wow.
I'm like trying to
Wow,
hustle. So
that's
I
awesome.
actually not really buying much anymore, but when I was buying, yes, I was like sniping stuff on eBay. I had like over 100 save searches, you know, like
Oh yeah.
vintage Nike, just like new listings, show me the cheapest and go from there. Or like some of the mom and pops downtown that went under, like when they just had like basements full of Reebok shorts or sales floor full of like Apex One codes. Like this is all stuff I put on Instagram, so like I'm comfortable saying it. So like, you know, on Race Street, like Chong back in the day and McConn's on the other side and Young's, like those were all my spots. Like the Korean American owns places that were basically like an indie Foot Locker.
Man, I bet you McConn's was a field day to be able to go through there when they were
So
closing.
you're hip to
man.
McConn's?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's when I talked about the bank vault. It was in an old bank, and now it's a hotel. It's so crazy seeing these places being converted.
That's
and
crazy.
Chong, 3CDC bought Chong, so who knows what it's going to be. And before it was Chong, it was a Kroger I saw. And before that, it was like a sewing factory. So there's like giant-ass sewing machines in there. Just the most wild shit. There's like dead rats in the basement, like giant bank vaults. Some of the oldest stuff I saw at McConn's was some like troop, like a troop leather jacket.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
No kid.
But there's also stuff as recent as like rookie era, Dead Stock LeBron, like women's stuff.
Mhm.
Part of the reason why I started doing women's stuff was because I was coming across a lot of it dead stock, and I was like, no one's buying this. This has resale value. Let me start copying this.
Right.
And then when I had two little boys, you know, I was buying them like 80s and 90s vintage, and you know, it's already used, right? So then my older son Trip wears it, hand me down to Rhett. Rhett outgrows it. It's just a circle of life. Just like let it fly.
Oh yeah.
So that's a lot of the stuff at the store right now is the stuff that Rhett's outgrown, plus some of the dead stock stuff just to have a full size run represented for like bigger kid sizes.
For sure.
But I got some sneakers there too.
Yeah, and that's, you know, when it comes to like kids clothes, man, like if when we go to print stuff,
Mhm.
it costs just as much to print a kid's T-shirt as
That's
it
what's
is an
tough.
adult.
That's why
or
some people stay out of that
sometimes it's
market.
even more because, you know, the kids' tee is the blank tee is gonna cost more than the $6 comfort color.
They probably just make less of them.
Yeah, exactly.
The margins are usually not as awesome with the kids. Like when I was at Homage, I remember the margins were not as great.
Right.
But for me, I have it anyway, and I'm really trying to have it represented. You know, maybe I'll dedicate a little more to men's over the course of time and a little less to kids, but I always want to at least have it represented.
Well, you know what though, man? And when you become a father or a mother, that money gets dumped into that kid, right? So you know what we were talking about, Andrew and I earlier, was like, bro, like even though the kids' tee costs more to print, and we sell it for less than what the adult tee is.
Right.
He's like there's a double there because then the dad's gonna pick up the shirt to match the kid, or the mom's gonna pick up the shirt
Yep.
to match the kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like one of those things where you just, you know, you've got to, you know, you've got to break some eggs to make an omelet. You know what I mean?
Facts. Totally. And it gets them coming back, and they're like, oh shit, like this place has kid stuff and it has cool kid stuff.
I mean, I think that $5 sale bin that you got right when you walk into the store is so genius because that's going to get people to come back once a week just to check it, just to see what else is in there, or you know, or if you can get somebody to leave with an item, then
Yes.
they're kind of tied in, right? Like if they're wearing that T-shirt, where'd you get it at? Oh, I got it at legit vintage for $5. You're like,
Like,
are you
what?
fucking
$5?
kidding me? What? Like,
Right.
where's
And-
this at?
And some people have advised me against having it in the front. Like, no, dude, you're gonna cheapen it, or like, you know, make everybody look at everything first. I'm like, no. Like, for now, I'm sticking with it. I want people to know ASAP that there's stuff for like a steal price here,
Right.
on your way in and on your way out.
Yeah. I mean, you've been in retail a really long time too, man. But
Yeah.
so you know how the mind works when all this stuff happens. Like,
Right.
we've got the very back corner over there, which it doesn't even look. It's behind the wall there.
Yeah,
All the blank T-shirts are.
Mhm.
People go right up to it, bro. They walk right up to it and they start flipping through. And
Isn't
you
it
can-
crazy what
and
people
you-
are like drawn to?
Well, and you can tell that these are the people that like to shop for deals, right? And it's
Mhm.
like, and that's the thing. Like, people have this mind mentality where everything's on display, isn't on sale, and then if it's tucked away in the corner,
Yes.
where you can thumb through it, that's what's on sale.
The consumer psychology is so crazy to me.
Oh, it's insane, dude.
There's certain things that I'm trying to roll with and certain things I'm trying to stay away from.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to price things fairly. So I just have having worked retail like with flash sales and stuff. I just want to like if I price it fairly to begin with, I just hope that it just sells as is. You know what I mean? So like having
Right.
to mark it down or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, like for us, man, like when we first put this store together, like, we would see the patterns. People would walk in and they would walk this way and then they would come back in and walk out. So it's like, all right, how do we get them to go around the corner?
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
we got to, so we added a display here so that it would get them just walk a little bit further into the store. It's like
the
okay,
path
how
people take it's
yeah,
so
like
interesting.
bro, it's so interesting and to me it's fascinating because like the mind, you're not realizing what you're doing, but you can tell that we're doing something wrong because everyone's coming in and walking out, coming in, walking out. So how do we get them to come in and walk around and then
Target's
and then
really
walk
good at
out?
this. Target. I
Target, yeah.
think there's certain colleges that teach classes specific to like Target's merchandising and just like their interior setup.
I
It's
could
like a
I could
whole
see
like
it.
mind fuck.
Yeah, I mean, the knowledge that we get out of here too, bro, because there's clues all over the walls to get you to walk up to that 7-Up door. But adults, they got the blinders on. It's like, don't talk to me unless I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
But these kids,
The
like
kids.
like 14 or under,
kids,
bro, like
they are
it's
the
it's
ones,
like that
yeah.
movie A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe. Like they're looking around and all of a sudden they start adding and subtracting,
Yeah.
and they're like within 2 minutes they're like, there's more to the store.
Dude, they're so smart. They're so smart. It's crazy. Like the kids don't get the credit that they deserve, and it's always funny watching like the mom. You know what I mean? She like tells
Get
them
away
that-
from the counter.
Get away from. Don't go by that grass. Do not walk on that grass right now. And
Look
he's like,
with
"There's
your
some-"
eyes, not your hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, "No, there's something here. The door." And she's
There's
like,
just
"No."
so much more interactive. They're
Yeah.
like they're less jaded. Their brain is
Right.
less of a traffic jam.
And once
it's
that
just-
door opens, that mom eats her words so much. Like she's like, "What? What?" And she's just as shocked. In fact, she's probably way
pretty
more
sick.
shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, because her
Right.
son figured it out.
Her
and she
son figured,
didn't.
yeah, and she's telling him in front of me, like, in like a busy Saturday night, to stay away from there. That you don't go past the desk, right? In most places, it's not.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
clearly no changing room that's past the desk. Like, it's not like that. So,
Right.
yeah, and she just sees so much going on, and then when she yells at him, and then grabs her hand, and the door opens up, you just can see the metaphorical tail between her legs, like, I guess we go inside,
Well,
like.
that's gotta end up being the most memorable
Oh.
element for you all.
For sure,
sure.
and for sure, it carries the weight for sure. Because like when people walk around, they kind of see there's so much to look at. But once that door opens and they come back out of the store, they see the store in a whole new light too. So they see it one way, and they come in. They go to the lab, and they come back out in this new room. This room is like all new again because
Right.
they're like
Yeah,
new
they
appreciation. yeah.
appreciate it now.
Yeah, it's appreciation thing, and there's also like fresh eyes, kind of like.
Yeah,
you
yeah. It's
know,
like it's like when you're at a candle store and you like smell some coffee beans and you're like, okay, I get to kind of restart. I'm freshened up just with your eyeballs.
Yeah,
going in
yeah.
There to here probably.
Yeah, same thing. And that's the human like senses are just tingling at that point because like when you go in that room, that white really gets. I mean, Jay's talked about
It's a stark
struggling to-
contrast.
Yeah, that's exactly what we wanted. The story behind the painter guy. You should tell that one.
Oh
Yeah,
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 that
the-
shit was wild, bro.
The dude who painted the walls on the inside.
I think
So-
on the outside actually.
Yeah, so when we like I told you before, the first store we built ourselves. The one outside that used to be the sports shop,
Yeah, yeah.
we built that ourselves. And then when they gave us this store, they had Turner come in and Turner Construction do all the work. So we just had to tell them like, hey, we want black walls and a black ceiling, stone floor. And we came in when they were painting it, and they were painting just the ceiling, and we're like, no, bro, it's got to come all the way down on the walls. and he was a professional painter, and he was like, "It's a terrible idea, dude. Like, we do this for a living, and no retail stores go black walls, black ceiling." And they wouldn't even paint it. They were like, we need to get a second opinion from the
They said
levy.
the higher ups. They
Yeah.
told us the higher ups.
The
remember?
higher ups. So the next
from
day
our
we
bosses,
came in.
basically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Next day we came in and it was black from floor to ceiling. And then once we added the black lights and the neon colors, that same guy came in and he was looking around and he was like, "Man, my son would love this store." And I was like,
Yup.
"Exactly, dude. You know what I mean? That's what don't cut me off before I even get on the highway. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
No,
Yeah.
it's like a skate shop kind of vibe with the black light obviously pops off of it.
well,
It
that's
makes sense to me.
it's you know what, dude. Like, I can see both ends on why stores don't use black lights, and why Spencer's does, right? Like, for us, all the thread on the hats, it all pops, and all the neon colors that we use, it all pops.
Yeah, like the Bengal orange, the fluorescent orange. It's not
Yeah.
for everybody, but it makes sense for this space for sure.
For sure, and it's like a moth to a flame, bro. Like all
Yeah.
this stuff sticks out so
Yeah,
much more
it
because
does.
people are like, "What is that? Is that a game shop? Like, is that an arcade? Like what?"
Right. It definitely draws interest for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's unique.
Yeah, and that's when people come in here too, bro. Like I tell them all the time, "Hey, I know it's a lot to take in. Like, you're asking them questions. Hey, like, do you need help with anything?" And they're just looking around, going, "What the fuck?"
I know. Right?
It is sensory overload, which that's good.
Yeah, no,
Better than
I'm
boring.
I'm here
Oh,
for it,
for
man.
sure,
It's
for sure.
like
Love boring.
we could
Right.
put clothes, stock it up like PacSun, and have 3 layers of clothes all the way up to the ceiling, and have tables full of clothes and all that shit. But it's like,
I
bro,
tried to work there.
man, I don't know if I'd be able to work in that store, bro. There's
They
just
weren't doing so hot. It was just the one manager the whole time. He was on a conference call in the out by himself.
oh really? That kind of sounds like how it's ran. You can tell, but it's kind
Bare
of
bones, big box,
yeah.
corporate.
Yeah. But and oh, you know what, dude? Before I forget, I need to let you in on something, just so you don't think that your name's not being stolen.
Okay.
There's a sports bar opening up at the old Tiffany's downtown.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what's it called again? I've seen
Vintage.
Yes.
It's gonna be called Vintage. Yeah, the same guy that owns Lori's Roadhouse is opening up a sports bar down there.
that. My buddy knew that this guy I used to work with knew that I was opening up a brick and mortar, and he knew that I am partial to downtown and like that part of downtown. And he's like, "Is it called Vintage, like that place?" I was like, "No, I'm not signing that lease." But that's
Yeah.
funny. He thought that was me for half a second.
Yeah.
And then I got to look it up. I was like, "Is this a vintage store?" And I was like, "No, I don't think it is."
Yeah, and we were actually we were talking about that too. Like when I told him that we're interviewing you, he was like, "Wait a minute,
Right.
like legit vintage, like the bar that's opening up downtown?" Like, no, bro, it's a clothing store in Cincinnati.
Well, it's where Royce was, right after Tiffany. I think that restaurant.
I'm
that
not
French
sure
restaurant
where it
was-
is. He was just
Man, I
excited
miss that
about
Tiffany.
it. Yeah, bro.
We were talking
That-
about it pre-recording. I just
that
miss the
loca-
downtown retail.
It's the fact that Saks Fifth Avenue left Fifth Avenue blows my mind.
It's no longer Saks. Like it's literally in the name. Like,
Yeah.
you kind of have to be. I heard that their lease agreement with the city was like $1 a year, like literally $1 for a long time, just to keep them there.
I could see it.
I mean, they held out because I don't know where the Bengals away. The team that comes in to play the Bengals stays anymore, but they always used to say the Hilton. I thought, which is connected, back in the '80s or maybe even pre-'80s to Saks. So like
Right.
all the, if you're the Steelers coming in town, you might get a Louis backpack just right across the street from where you're staying.
For sure.
And it made more sense then, but now that everything's there's so many more hotels, there's Airbnbs,
Yeah.
online, Kenwood stealing everybody. It just seems like a when not if thing. It was just kind of a bummer.
For
So
sure.
I'm trying to, I'm in East Walnut Hills, so I'm not like downtown proper. And neither you guys, but you're downtown adjacent as well. You know what I mean? We're not like up in Mason or something. So
Right.
I'm trying to kind of fight that good fight still and put on for downtown or close to it retail.
For sure.
I think it's special. I respect that about Unheard Of, how they're still on 4th. That's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up. You know what I mean?
For sure, man. Phil's been killing it, man. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, I was just in there the other day. I sold a couple of my Dead Sock Bengals jerseys. I got a Gresham right here, but I sold who did I sold? T.O. and Peter Warwick to a couple of the
Hey,
homies
P
there.
Dub, man. I was good friends with Dub for a long time. man.
Really?
Yeah. Every Monday we would I had a connection down at Jillian's.
Yeah, I remember Jillian's.
So every Monday we would go bowling down there, and they would
You and
charge
Peter
us-
Warwick?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like there was like 30 or 40
That's like
people.
their off day, right? That's their time to kind of mess around.
Yeah.
It's like industry day. for
Bro,
every
it
bartender.
was so fun, man, because they wouldn't charge us anything to bowl, and all I would do is like I would collect $10 from everybody that was playing or everyone was bowling, and the manager would bring out like one of the actual trays, like a restaurant tray. It'd be full
It's
of
like a buffet kind of deal.
yeah, it'd be full of wings and
Oh, my
celery,
God.
carrots, and shit,
That's
and
awesome.
and all the drinks that you wanted. So we were basically just tipping the bartender, like
Mm-hmm.
we would just $10 a person. So we would give the bartender $300, and he would give us a bunch of wings, and then he would pocket whatever he wanted to. But
that's what's
every
up.
Monday, man, we would go bowling out there, bro. It was so much fun. And actually, I saw him. I went to a Tampa Bay Bucks game, and I had nosebleed seats, and his seats were in the same section, one row behind me, and about 5 seats
Does he
over.
stay there now? Because he was the
Yeah.
FSU guy, right? Which
Yeah.
is in Florida.
Yeah, he's
Nice.
I think he's still out there in Tampa.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I saw him. I looked over and I was like, damn, that's fucking Peter. He's got him on the dub chain, and I was like, yo, Dub.
Let him know.
And he looked over. He was like, because I was growing my hair out. My hair's always been short, and
Oh, so you looked a little different.
yeah, he was
Wasn't been a
like,
minute.
Jay, he's like, what the fuck did you do to your hair? Like, hey, man.
It's the opposite now when people see me like what? Because people used to like call me Jesus or stuff, but they're trying to flame me, and now I'm like short.
Are you happy that you got short hair? Does it
Oh,
feel a
yeah.
lot better, bro?
Oh my god, dude! I just I didn't have the guts to do it. I like this buddy of mine. I watched him buzz his head with his best friend like on Memorial Day like 5-6 years ago, and I was like, fuck, if I had any guts, I'd do the same shit. I'm like, oh, I don't know, long hair's my identity. I'm trying to be a scene kid. What if my head shape is weird? And I'm like, fuck it. So I just did it,
That's funny, man.
and I feel I wish I would have done it sooner.
Yeah.
It's like same with like taking the plunge to work for myself full time, or extra taking the plunge to open up my store. It's like same with cutting my hair, like that feeling like when you're scared to jump, like if you're like, in high school we'd like jump off bridges or cliff jumping or whatever, like
Yeah.
when you're scared to jump, like normally that's when you jump, that's
Yeah.
when you want to jump,
Right.
so just like facing that fear and just saying fuck it is pretty freeing.
Was that so? So was Homage your last job before
Yes, sir.
you jumped full head in to opening up this the
Mhm.
store?
Yeah, so this will be literally the last time I mention this word on this podcast, but
What's going on, man?
when COVID happened, we all got laid off. I used that as a springboard to do my thing full time. So I was grinding like crazy. Chong was closing. Dude, he was so dope. He let me do layaway at his fucking house. He lived in Indian Hill, bro. I was like, what? I
That's-
didn't know you had it like that. So I was
Yeah.
like meeting up with him and his like, mid 70-year-old wife at some exit like every week, like throwing him some money. Like he's giving me coats. It was crazy.
That's dope, dude.
But I was grinding like crazy. That's when I hired my first part-time employee. So now I got a photographer. I got somebody who does my listings. I got somebody who helps me with my orders.
That's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's I couldn't be more happy to have Andrew as a co-pilot, man.
Right.
Because it's like, it gets so
If you're gonna scale it, you have to.
Yeah.
I'm only one person.
Right.
I got kids. I got responsibilities. I can, and I stretch I still grind. I still go hard.
oh yeah,
I'm sure you do too. But you got, if you're gonna scale it, you can't be a one-man band.
for sure.
You got to
man.
relinquish some control.
There's power in numbers, man. And
Totally,
with
totally.
and Andrew knows me so well. He
We're
knows
talking about you.
he knows
Oh,
how
okay.
how,
Hope all
how
good
to
things.
You're a LeBron fan.
he knows how to balance everything
AI.
out, man. If I've got some frayed wires in my brain and I'm freaking out over,
Right.
like he knows
You
how
need
to
somebody
like,
to say like no, or that's not it.
yeah, no, for sure. And he's the guy for me, man. He's perfect. So it's
Appreciate
like one of those things where, it's strength in numbers, dude. So
Mm-hmm.
if you can get a team around you that can help you out, you're gonna go a lot further.
Yeah, so of my 4 employees that I have on a regular basis, 3 of which I've known for multiple years, if not like a decade, and I've worked with them all before. So you have that previous dynamic, and you know them, you know how they like to do their thing, you trust them. And then my 4th employee, who's my photographer, is like my best friend, like the first friend I made when I moved here, the first person that said what's up to me on my first day of school, my first period of my first class.
That's
It's
awesome,
his little
man.
sister. So
Oh,
it's like
dope,
all these
bro.
people I know and trust.
Yeah, that's dope that you can put friends on too, man.
Yes.
It's one of those things where it's like we talk about it all the time. Where, we need more people here, but it's like I'm not gonna go out and hunt for people.
Mm-hmm. No,
like
you got to be
if-
selective. Hell selective.
And if you can find your seat at the table, like there's plenty of food to go around. You just
Yeah.
need to figure out, what I'm missing and what you can put in.
I've always said I'm loyal to people, not places. I'm
sure.
crazy loyal, but not to some, like Urban Outfitters is a publicly traded company. I'm not loyal to them, but I'm loyal to the people that I got to know and be friends with over time. Like my homie Tony, he's working the store for and with me tomorrow, and that's how we met. We were the men's team there.
Oh, dope.
So that relationship that formed fucking 13 years ago is still paying dividends, just
For sure.
organically.
For sure. And you're also you're able to gain some knowledge off of all these other stores and all these other
Yes, like
Like
oh, I
hints that
loved
they've
how Urban
done.
did this, or like I fucking hated how we did that. We're definitely not doing that.
For sure.
It's
Yeah.
both.
And that's
Yeah.
amazing, man, because you don't get that type of experience unless you've done the day to day to get to that point.
I mean,
You gotta pay your
there's
dues.
there's that in this store. I mean, growing up, I hung out at Cosmic,
Yeah.
Cosmic in the Florence Mall. That was kind of my place, the stopping grounds at the Florence Mall, like flipping off the Abercrombie's white pillars and hanging at Cosmic and doing our thing, whatever. But it was fun. But
Yeah, I never fucked with that. My mom wouldn't let me wear Abercrombie.
I didn't wear
great.
it.
Not their
I just,
catalogs
I
for
just,
like
I just,
porno.
did I
which is
just
not wrong.
Right, yeah, fair. I just,
No, that was bro. I worked there. It was so
She spared
strange,
me.
man.
Yeah, it was weird. Have you seen that doc on Netflix?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
it's-
mean,
it's
I,
fucked up. And
I,
it's from
I,
Columbus.
I don't mean to
Yeah,
interrupt
that's
the
right.
combo,
Yeah.
No,
I don't
no,
want
but
to
when I
remember what you're saying.
when I
I'll get
worked
there,
there, bro,
there.
like we
You
would
worked
just
there, that's crazy.
Yeah, I worked there every other Sunday, so
Okay.
I only worked 2 shifts a month. And when I went in, they thought I was the manager because I was
What?
24 years old.
Oh.
So the manager
You're like some
working
17-year-old
knew,
blonde
knew
hair
who
girl.
I was. Yeah, but I would just go in there and I would just be like, I'm getting behind the counter, I'm checking people out. You know
Oh.
what I mean? Like, and then like the people that worked there every day, like they didn't know who I was. They just thought I was
And at
like
Hollister,
some.
I was the greeter.
But that's what I was
yeah.
saying, which is weird. Is
Have
like
you heard how great
like,
our jeans fit?
like we
Yeah.
we would walk in and then
Yo,
she
their
would just
jukebox
be
was
like,
fire.
okay, you are gonna work the front shirtless. And so like my buddy
And that
Adam
was,
would
like,
just
normalized.
be like, okay,
And now you're like,
yeah. So he
"What?"
just takes his shirt off and he's like got his Abercrombie underwear on. And he just stands at the front of the thing, 16 years old, like.
That's
fucking kidding me?
crazy.
Like, how insane is
The more
that?
time goes by, the more like yikes some of it is.
Yeah.
Dude, how insane is that, bro?
That's cringe.
Yeah.
That's like Woodstock '99. It was like super hyper macho, sexualized, girls gone wild culture. That was just kind of like
that was it. That was the 90s, yeah.
when like the guy who was conceiving of all these concepts, Bruce Weber, I think is his name, Bruce Weaver. That was like his fantasy,
Oh shit, no kidding.
like ripped younger dudes. That was his idea. Okay, so what was your story at the Florence
Oh
Mall?
no! The Florence. I was just saying, the culture that we built here, kind of the similar culture to what Cosmic had. It was like hangout culture. We have the chair by the desk.
This is definitely hangout. store.
Yes, and that's where like my first like initial experience with that was at Cosmic because I grew up in the Florence area, whatever. But then I worked at Macy's in Lexington, and then transferred to
Nice.
the Macy's downtown.
I love
So I
Macy's.
worked at Macy's for 4 years. Had a sour ending to it, but it is what it is. But then I worked for another clothing company, so I've been there, done that with a few different ones. But coming here, I was like, you know what? Like I can help set the culture. So let's go hangout culture. And Jay's just on that same mindset. So like it was easy because like if it wasn't that way, then like I would have went to bat for hangout culture. I'm like, hey, we need hangout
Right.
culture because we want to build the young ones up so that they so the ones that are the artistic young people that need some guidance, they come and hang out, they find a place that they can bring their art
Right.
and then they can blossom, and then 10 years later, they're thinking and they're going back to their roots, which is us, and they're like, hey, this is what got me there. And like without Cosmic and that mentality, I don't think I would be in this position. So like I want to give that same mentality to someone that's 16, 17,
Sounds
18,
like
19.
the skateboard kids culture in high school. It's just
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
band of misfits that are
Yeah,
like artsy
exactly.
and shit, just finding each other. I'm
Exactly.
trying to have it a little hangout vibe too. Like I got a bunch of directors chairs, so people can just plop a seat on and chill with me at the store. I got an old Nike bench. Once I need more square footage, but I want to get the gardens chairs installed. I want people to hang out.
Yeah. I love that kind of culture because like that was the one thing about I learned about retail is Macy's is really intentional about like getting you to the certain spots and getting it moving,
Yeah.
getting everyone moving, flowing out of the store, and
Right,
like
right.
even the feeling as you were leaving, it was just got cooler, and like they like the way they had their air conditioning, it was just get you out the door, like, and that's kind
People
of
don't realize like
yeah.
the stuff that is happening like subliminally to you when you shop.
It's
At
crazy,
those bigger
bro.
box places.
yeah.
Where like most people know like the classic like play like the more upbeat like shit about around closing time. Just like hurry the hell
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
like loud color. Like,
Closing
paint it red
time
to get
at
people,
the
yeah,
end of the bar,
we're like,
yeah.
yeah, right. Dude, closing time was on the homage playlist, and like my least favorite thing would have came on at like 11 in the morning. I'm like, nah, this can only come on like the last hour. Like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah.
That so what'd you learn at in Homage, man? That was
A lot of shit.
I know. A place like that, bro, like the glass bottle Cokes that you would give away to
That's
to
a
customers.
hangout store. NBA
Yeah.
Jam. You just play. You fucking beat NBA Jam. You could hang out all day. I would play you. I would get paid to hang out and play NBA Jam and drink Coke. It's
Right.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So Ryan Vessler, owner founder of them, shout out. He used to be an eBayer.
Oh, nice.
Bro, but his dad used to be the delivery driver for us back in the day when they were smaller, when we were the first not Columbus store. Great bowler. Ryan's a good bowler too. And his dad had those crazy stories. Like Vessler had some dead stock dig studying abroad in Spain where he found like a bunch of dead stock ones, like
Oh,
in
shit.
like around Y2K or something like that. He's a smidge older than me, but their storytelling through a T-shirt is like second to none. And that's I mean, I'm not gonna front. I've said this before. Like the whole reason I give away packs of cards, that's a straight rip from them, which I acknowledge. And all those in-store elements, like the framed, like vintage Nike posters, what I was going for. Their cash wrap, I had the guy. Well, I actually ended up finding like a dope cash wrap from this Philly market store that was closing, Wolfpack. But when I was thinking about doing them from scratch, the homage one was the inspo with like it was made out of old like high school gym floor. They have like the scoreboard in there.
Oh yeah.
We wanted a TV, but
Nice.
I basically sell the OG version of the T-shirts they retro,
Right.
if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like Ryan will buy vintage samples of stuff like he's bought stuff from me for sure before, and a ton of other places and people. And he has whole racks of stuff as inspiration for their graphic designers up in Columbus. So, man, I'm blanking. I was there for over 5 years. It was a great experience. I really like Homage. I really like Ryan. I really like a lot of my former coworkers. And like the person that does my listings right now, we used to work together. Her name's Fender. That's her last.
So how did you get connected with Homage? How did it all start? Where was where was that like that point of which you're like, oh, now I'm in this like a whole new world, and like my eyes, light bulbs turn on.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
new
So
views.
So
kinda
check
thing?
this. So I was living downtown for like 4 years, and then we got pregnant, and we were like, shit, we probably can't live downtown anymore. So we bought a house in the neighborhood that was like closest to downtown, which is East Walnut Hills, and now it just happens to be kind of popping off. But back then, it was just like centrally located, and that was the appeal for us. But I was like, if I can't live downtown, let me work downtown. And I'd been a customer from Homage because a lot of my best friend group from high school, I went to King's High School right by Kings Island. A lot of those dudes went to OSU, and after college they stayed in OSU in Columbus, and a lot of them live in Columbus still, and that's where Homage is from. And so I was hip to Homage, and I loved the experience. Like my first experience in there, yeah, I was a grown up, and my jaw dropped. Like, this is fucking amazing. Just chilling with the GM, drinking a Coke. All my friends were like dragging me out of the store. I was just like obsessed.
That's awesome.
And when they announced that they were expanding outside of Columbus and opening one in OTR, I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect.
Right, right. The stars are aligning, yeah, and you're there. So how long after that did you get employed? Like, how did that go?
So I was there for like 5.5 years, and I think when you got up real quick, so like
Yeah.
when the world shut down, we everybody, restaurants, retail, got laid off, and at that point I was like, man, this feels like a now or never moment for me. So that's when I started pursuing legit full time after that.
Okay, cool. All right, so legit was a part-time thing up until that point.
Yeah, and it had been. So when I started at Homage in 2014, that's crazy. I'd only been doing legit for like 2 years, which is so crazy to think about, but it felt like a lot longer because I had been going hard. Why the origin story for legit was I was journalism and English lit at Miami. Nobody believes me that I went to Miami, which is funny. It's
I'm journalism as well. Well, minor.
Nice.
It was my major, and I moved it to my minor because communications became. I ended up starting to this. loathe journalism because I didn't want to pry into things that I didn't care about with people. I only care about certain things.
Dude,
But
the whole reason I did journalism, I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I was like, let me just kind of like talk to all these people that are doing what they seem like
Yeah.
want to do and figure it out.
yeah, I like music. I did the music. I got like a column and
I wrote for
since-
Substream, which is kind of like a local
Oh,
AP.
I know Substream.
You know Substream.
I'm-
That's what's up.
my band was covered by Substream.
Dude, some of the lead
Yeah,
singers whose
yeah.
phone numbers I still have saved in my phone are crazy.
Yeah.
Look, you guys probably even have you ever done anything with Ocean?
Have you ever heard of a band
Grid?
called Ocean Grid?
No.
We were like 2015.
Is that your band?
Yeah. Yeah, we were covered by Substream. Substream magazine
No
today.
shit, I could have got
our-
a sign. That's probably just luck of the draw.
Dude, our EP release, we did this big EP release, and Substream covered it, a whole thing on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a publicist and a
I wish my fingers still worked. I haven't written in a while, but
man, yeah, I love right. I'm all about it. Like well, the music into things. I used to go to concerts, shows, and I used to just watch the show. How everyone did the show, like if there was like proper promo on the walls. I just covered all the entire event, and I wrote articles on it. I did this in Lexington, and then I did it in Cincinnati for a little while. But like that was that was just easy for me because I used to go to shows constantly, so like I was like easy for me to just write about it. But then as I got older, I was like, you know what? I'd rather just really focus on playing more than writing, and then it kind of fell away.
Yo, I said I
Yeah.
want to stop. I want to stop reporting on the news. I'm trying to make the news.
Yeah,
That's when I was like, get
that's
me out of
kinda-
this.
Exactly, same thing.
So I was just shopping the whole time like a motherfucker. But
right.
so I always cynically say I doubled down on unhireable majors. I was journalism, and they make you double major there. Miami's like, this motherfucker's not gonna get a job with journalism. So I did
Oh.
English lit. So I basically did reading and writing.
Oh, I started as English lit.
Hell yeah.
That's so
this
crazy.
is weird.
I started there.
Twin
and then-
flames going on.
And then
Right.
I went transferred, went to journalism, transferred back, and went communication studies with a minor in journalism, and that's what my degree's in. And I have a focus in public speaking because we taught
Ooh, my biggest phobia.
Red Cross and United Way. We did we taught these classes on like how to like listen for the air vents and how much how loud you have to be when you're talking in a public speaking setting.
I'm
all
just
these-
trying not to like pee my pants when I'm up there.
Yeah.
Or have a panic attack.
we focused on making eye contact with each person in the room, engaging and making sure they stay engaged, and then make, if it's persuasive or formative, whatever it is. But like, then you get to your goal, but you got to get the people engaged, because if they're not engaged, unless they're wanting to be there, but a lot of times we're taught like you're teaching this as if they don't want to be there, and you want them
Yes,
to be informed.
That's a good strategy.
And that's kind of how we went about everything, which was cool. Like it was a good experience and helped me become like a front man and know how to navigate a crowd and all these different,
right.
different.
It probably
avenues.
applies. What's cool about journalism, and definitely what you're talking about, like being a front man, that is applicable to like there's a lot of stuff that applies to running a store.
Yeah, no, for sure. A lot of things here. I apply a lot of stuff with band life, band world, because you're an entrepreneur and you're promotions and you're the marketing and you're also the graphic designer and you're also the person that's ordering the wholesale clothing, eat your merch. You're doing all these different things.
The
all the
one
hats.
man wearing all the hats, the
Yep.
hustle mentality, like
Yeah.
backpacker. That it's very similar to starting your own
Yeah.
clothing business. Absolutely.
And in metal,
Those are
no
all
one
my buddies.
cares. No one cares until you make them care because they can't understand you, what you're screaming. So, like, you have to make them care based on branding, based on some kind of feeling, a live event, live show where they feel you. So, like,
You got to be really resilient too.
yeah.
You know,
our
like, you
early
know.
song was called Resilience. Resilience, yeah, that was an early Ambitions EP. That was an early thing because, like, I knew how much work I was going to put in and how much marketing I was going to do. And eventually, yeah, it all came to be and then led here to Native on the Levee, which is awesome full circle. And now I'm interviewing bands on stage at Madison Live, which I'm wearing the shirt right now.
Hell yeah.
I just did this last Thursday. 824 was the first event, was season 10. It went great. It was a great time. I interviewed them, and they played a full set in between questions. It was so much fun. I have sponsors. They were
Shit, this shit's sponsored already.
I got sponsored.
It's
Yeah,
a dope concept. Well, now that I know more about your background, it's like it makes a lot of sense.
it's where I'm
Right.
at. Yeah. It's what I like to do.
That's awesome.
It's a natural fit for me because it's what I enjoy, and all my friends are in the scene. So like, it kind of just works with my world. And then when me and Jay partnered up and did our thing, like I was like, bro, I can bring my world, because he didn't even know anything at this point. Like I wasn't even bringing it up. I was like, I know this guy's, I know where he sits, and I know I can help him because I've seen Josh kind of do similar. I watched Josh and I was like, hey, I see where he's at. And Josh is like, they're very, very similar. Josh is just a couple steps ahead and a few fronts. I was like, man, this is awesome. But once I can bring my music in, we're gonna really elevate because I can help with that. And then about 6 months down the line, I really brought it into play. But at first, we brought the podcast app first. We podcasted with the Santa that comes to the levee. He was on site, so we talked to him. And then
awesome.
the Star Wars. The Star Wars guys came in. We hung with them. Like a lot of different things happened, and then we moved spots outside, and that's when things really got good.
What was
This is a pretty awesome setup in here.
yeah,
I feel like
I
I'm on like
appreciate it,
Howard
bro.
Stern
Yeah,
or
it's-
something. It's like the real deal.
This is all YouTube University, man. It's like you just buy one thing, learn how to use it, and then buy another thing, learn how to use it, bro.
The patience for that.
Yeah.
The patience.
And the cameras, man. So we tried everything. We had like the really nice cameras, like the Canon Ds. I got an 80D camera, but they time out after 30
Yeah.
minutes, bro. So it's like
Oh,
unless
that's the problem.
yeah. So unless you got somebody paying attention, like you got to go around and turn all the cameras back on. So
My worst fear would be like done recording, like I forget hit the record button or whatever.
oh, dude, we had an episode with
All right, let's run it back.
with a right. Well, we had this guy in from New York right when NFTs first came out. His name was Mr. Pink, and he's on the panels of like the NFT things, and he's got a
So
company.
he's out of town and he's a big dog, and it fucked up on him, and you're like, shit.
Bro, no sound at all. The entire podcast was just mute, and it was like there was so much
There's
information.
some NFT joke in there. I don't know.
Bro, right? And he's got a company with Ja Rule. Like that's how big this dude is, and like the whole
I heard
interview. was-
Firefest 2 is happening.
Sure
Oh,
is, bro.
yeah.
They sold out of the first round of tickets already, and it's ran by the same guy that just got out of jail for the whole mess up.
The
in beginning.
audacity.
But hey,
Yeah.
like you know what, man? Like, and I doubled down on it too.
Yeah.
Oh, I respect it.
If Netflix and Hulu both did a story about me and I didn't make
They're
a
gonna-
penny
they're
on
gonna
it,
do another one
Right.
about
Oh,
this.
I'm
yeah.
doubling down.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Going right to him.
Okay, so
Here's
let me
a
try and
reminder.
make like a super long story, like medium.
we have
So
time.
like
We've got time.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So I was in school and I graduated, and people were like, "Yo, what do you want to do with this degree?" And I was seriously saying, "Bro, I want to work at Urban Outfitters and write for a music magazine." Check. And then all of a sudden, after I'd done it for a while, I was like, "Man, Substream. I love Substream, but like they're not paying me. This has been cool to get to interview like some guys and get some perks and go to Warped." And this dude Stephen Goldstein, hello if you're watching, in Columbus, he invited me to go on Warped Tour with them. So I
nice.
almost I thought long and hard about like that tour life or whatever, but at the same time I kind of fell out of love with Urban. Like I was so naive, like shopping there in school. I was like, these are like the coolest people. I just want to like hang out with these people. Like I really like all these guys. And then I slowly but surely was like, oh wait, it's like a publicly traded company like everywhere else. And oh wait, like they're taking these like, liberal ideology T-shirts, but they're actually funding like hyper conservative politicians. And I just got really jaded and really cynical. And I was like, shit, like I didn't really have a plan B. I thought I was going to love both of these things. Like if I don't like working for this employer, I don't know if I'm going to like working for any other employer.
Right.
Especially when I was younger, my attitude could have been a little bit better. But I was like, I need to work for myself. So what can I do that I give a shit about to be motivated enough to do that? And I've always been into vintage. And one of the cool things I will acknowledge about Urban is you could wear whatever you want. Like you could wear a paper bag in there, they don't give a shit. So I was working there, not wearing any of the. I mean, I might have had some Levi's cutoffs from there, but like I was wearing like bought on eBay vintage Jordan gray tag tanks or just vintage Nike whatever. And I was like, I feel like I got an eye for this. I'm interested in it. I have a good sense of value. I'm thrifting. I'm eBaying anyway. Like, and then I started seeing people like this dude from my high school named RJ had a Rad Vintage in Chicago, which you might be hip to.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like people like my peers are close to it are like they're doing their own thing with vintage. Like, I think I could do that.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, fuck it. I'm trying to get out of the urban game, get out of the retail warrior game, and work for myself. Now it took a really long time to turn that corner. We're talking like 8 years, but that's when the light bulb went off. That's when the concept happened. So I
Okay.
started in March of 2012, and I just didn't look back. And that's when I met you, right? When you were in Hypercolor and we were at Rise of the Cool Kids, and I
Oh,
was
yeah.
like just starting my grind.
Yeah.
But I had to pick something that I thought I would have the energy for long term, and I'm so glad I picked what I picked because I'm more in love with it now than I was then.
For sure. I mean that's awesome too, man, because it's one of those things where when you're working at Urban, right, and you're buying these tees and you're thinking to yourself, bro, like these tees don't hit. These tees look okay. These tees don't hit. But when I'm wearing something and then these people are like, where's that shirt? Like, oh, bro, I bought this on eBay. It's like there's something that strikes in your head and you're just like, man, you know what I mean? Like there's,
I could say, instead of that, I could be like handing out my business card and be like, you can come get it from me.
yeah, 100%, bro. Just
The exclusivity.
grinding.
Exclusive, exactly.
So I
Exclusiveness
just
is-
said, fuck it. I walked into the Western
so-
Hills St. Vincent de Paul, and the first thing I thrifted, it wasn't even vintage, but I kind of thought it was. It was like a youth-sized Jordan crew neck. It's like so mid, not even vintage. Shouldn't have even been on Etsy. Was old enough, but I put it on Etsy, bought it for like $5, sold it for like $25, and I was like, okay, let's just do this times 1,000.
Right.
Let's go.
100%, bro.
You know, you mentioned Etsy a lot.
Yeah,
we can go and dive into like my little bit of history too. So, I graduated from NKU in 2012, but senior year 2011, I came up with this business idea. It was called the AAC, the Artist Appreciation Community.
Okay.
So about appreciating the arts community, whatever. But my goal was to make it like Craigslist, eBay, and Facebook for artists. All right. So and it was like basically to combat Etsy and Art.com and these different places that things were being sold anywhere for art. But it was more like social profile, like kind of a thing, social media. But this was like 2011, so it was kind of like Facebook had just. It was only a few years out that Facebook was really with us at that point because before at one point like you had to have like a college email to have Facebook.
Dude,
and
I
stuff.
remember
Yeah.
anxiously, eagerly anticipating because I graduated from Miami, but my freshman year I went to Flagler, also in Florida, in St. Augustine, and OSU already had it because they're big, and we had to wait like a few weeks our fall semester
Yeah.
to get it because I was the class of 05 freshman year where that's when it debuted in a big way.
It was
And then it really went crazy when the floodgates opened, like those high school girls got on there,
Yeah.
and then it just the shit hit the fan when your aunts and uncles got on there and stuff.
right. And then everyone's on there, and now it's like how people find people rather than having even a phone number. But yeah,
Right.
so yeah, exactly. Things have definitely changed. But like back then, I was like, all right, I'm gonna come up with this idea. I came influenced from this one class I was in at NKU, whatever. But I built this website. Like I had a code guy, and then I had a graphic designer, and we kind of like, triple team kind of this idea. But like I went to this incubator competition through NKU. I was standing outside the art building. Some dude walked up to me. He's like, "Hey, you look like a guy that could use this," and he gives me this yellow egg. And I'm like, what? And I open it and it has like a strip and it says, submit your business to the incubator program. Winner gets $5,000 and a staff and this and this. And I was like, huh.
Oh, nice.
So I submitted it and they took first 150 businesses. Ended up getting to the finals. The top 8 went in front of a Shark Tank at NKU, like
That's awesome.
the president of NKU and a bunch of different higher-ups in the business department. Presented my business. The guys that I was with, they didn't want to present. It was just me. So
Oh, that's the most fun part, dude.
yeah, I know. That's what I said. I was like,
Or to be on the Shark Tank panel. That's so fun.
yeah, there was it was pretty cool. Like the ladies on it, they were both art history, but one of them was like, because all the other businesses, all 7 others were apps. I was the only website.
Mm-hmm.
So part of it was like the AAC was like a guild kind of. So like you'd be in there. So like Banksy could be in there. Anyone in the like legend status could automatically be in there. But these were for up and coming entrepreneurs or musicians or sculptors or clothing designers or whatever. Everyone could make a profile, and like your business card was your top of your page. So it was like your picture and whatever you wanted your thing to be, and you could literally print it off. I had the whole thing set, so like it was all it was just built the way. I just never found an investor. But like,
Did you win?
I got third.
Okay.
got third.
You medaled.
I
That's
got
what's up.
third. Yeah, it was cool. But like the other one had like communication from back of house to front of house with restaurants, and I guess at that time it was just what they were looking for. So he won the competition, but like it was just this lady on the panel was like, if I had this when I was like. Because she's like, I got a marketing degree. She's like, but my first one was in art, and I can't do that. I can't use that degree for anything, so I went and got another one. And she's like, if I would have had this when I was younger, I would have been able to do so many other things. She's like, rather than chase down Etsy and chase down these different things, she's like, I just need something where I can put everything. She's like, I'm really pulling for you. Good luck, whatever. And then we got through it, and they told me I got third, and I was like, all right, that's not bad. Like, I'm the only website.
Out of 150.
150. Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, that, but, like, it
That's
was
when like
just
that
for
app
that.
craze was.
Yeah.
Like, real
oh,
crazy.
straight up. It really was. But I was just like, you know what? I would have an interactive map. So when you click on it, it would show the state. And then you could choose where the AAC artist is. Like if they're in Chicago, it would show the artist in Chicago and kind of a thing. So we were putting all this stuff together. And at the time, it was less. I mean, now it would have been. I mean, it might fit in now, but like, there's so many other things that people can. There's like Discords, and there's so many places people can sell now. But like back then, there just was.
There was the hole in that market. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't anything. Like Facebook was there, but I was like, there could be people could sell stuff, but now Marketplace exists, and it, that wasn't a thing. Then I was just like,
It's like the new Craigslist.
where can I sell stuff? Because my mom
Right.
likes to buy yard sales, and I don't like the yard sale. I'm not built like Jay. I don't want to die like Gary Vee. I'm not. That's not how I want to do it.
Well,
I would
it
like.
stresses me out too. That's what I
I
like
don't
more
like
about
to do it.
dead stock. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a finite amount of stuff. It's right in front of my face. Like I'm like a completist. So if I go to like a Goodwill, I feel like I'm required to look at every single men's item for sure, and then housewares for cook glass. And let me look at the paintings because I heard one guy in Columbus found a Picasso once. So I got to make sure there's not a Picasso here. Well, I have women's, and it's just like I just drive myself
Right.
crazy.
See, I don't want to be there. But that doesn't mean I don't respect them that do.
I can
So,
shop
like,
till I
if
drop,
can
but
get-
it's
if I
not
can-
good for the
If I
mental.
can get them to, if I can bridge the gap for them, that's where I want to put my piece. I don't want to go into the antique store. I'll go with them, like go with Jay. We go there, but I'm not salivating like he is over these certain things. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. That's really cool. I'd love to have that, but I don't know. But like, if I can create a medium to help them, that's where I want my place to be, and that's what my thought process was back then. Like, I just wanted something to do. I had a band, and I was just like, I'm only running at half capacity. Because I was like messaging everyone individually as my band, like personalizing messages. I see you like Blackfoot Brides, our drummers from that band, blah blah blah, like and like that
Oh,
kind
no
of thing.
shit.
Yeah, like I just
remember
did
that.
that. Do you? Yeah. Zach, he played in the Knives and Pins era, but like, yeah, it's just. That was my grind. But I had college at the same time, and I was just living in Fort Thomas, and it was kind of just the thing. We had practiced out of our basement in the house. Neighbors didn't love it, but it is what it is. But, like, yeah, it just, that was the thing. And
You
I
got to practice somewhere.
gotta practice somewhere. And practice spaces, like, at About Space, like, and there was just some sketchy situations we ran into. Man, and I just didn't want to do a practice
I've
space
heard
anymore.
some stories.
People break in, try to steal stuff, like.
Yeah, it's always in a teeny dicey part of town.
Yeah,
At least-
always.
At least all my buddies.
But one time there was a gun pulled out of the gas station by where we were practicing, and like we all were like, "What?" We just walked out of the doors, and we left the guy behind the desk. I mean, we just had to go. Like we were by the door, and the dude pulled the gun out. I'm like, it's not my day.
I'm out.
I'm out. We gone. But like that's the thing is that's part of it. So when we got a practice space in a nice area where it was comfortable and we could just get out of our bed, walk downstairs, practice, and go back upstairs and chill, perfect. And it helped accelerate everything. And,
Yep.
led me to this point. Without that, I don't think this would be real. So it all in the step. But, like, that website and the AAC and everything would have been perfect for something like that. Because, like, Etsy was my main thing. I was like, Etsy's where they can go and sell stuff. But, like, is there something easier that everyone could be a part of, like Facebook? But it didn't exist. So... And here we are. It still doesn't really exist.
Well,
I
that's
don't
why
think.
cool shit gets invented because somebody's like, I wish this fill in the blank existed. It doesn't. So I guess I'll do it.
Right.
That's literally my thought process. Like, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm doing with legit. I mean, there's other vintage stores, but I don't know of another Cincinnati vintage store, at least that specializes in dead stock. I don't know another Cincinnati store that has the representation of the three departments I have: kids, women's, and men's, not in that order. And I also don't know of a Cincinnati vintage shop that has the approachable price points that I have.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just trying to be like all the things I like about the vintage shop. And I'm homies with like almost all these vintage people. And if I'm not, it's just because I haven't met them yet.
Right.
So it's like no shade towards any of these people. Like these are my buddies and there's plenty of food for everyone to eat.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to like, that's my lane. You know what I mean? You got to be a little specific. And I'm pretty eclectic and I'm eccentric and I'm enthusiastic about a lot of stuff, so it's hard for me to stay super focused, but I try to be as focused as much as I can.
Right. And you got 10 years of vintage clothes too, so like the hard work is already done, right? Like
Yes.
you've
Yes.
already got the
I've gone out hunting.
10,000 pieces and you've got
Right.
the stuff. Now you just got to unload it all, right? So
Right.
and that's the difference between
Different type of challenge, but yeah.
Right. Well, what you're doing, you have a full store of vintage stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of these stores, like even us, man, like we'll have a couple vintage things and we'll put them in the glass case, but we're gonna bump the price on it because we don't want it sold today. we want it there for 2 weeks.
I
and
want my
then-
stuff sold yesterday because
Right.
I have so much of it. Right.
Right, and that's the difference is like we'll put a higher price on it because we want this thing to be here for 2 weeks so people can see that we've got
right.
got something that's nostalgia from the 90s or Jordan or something.
Right, yeah, that makes
but,
sense for
but
your
you
model.
like yeah.
I'm trying to let it fly. I want people to come in and then 2 weeks later come in and it looks totally different.
for sure
Like a
because
refresh.
you're
I don't
just
want it to be
moving
stale.
product all the time.
Well, first of all, I want to be making money, and I just want visually there to be like turnover, so they're like, don't sleep, hurry up and buy, and just they're not bored by the selection. It's like, oh, this isn't the same, instead of like, oh, it's the same shit I saw last time. It's like, oh, dope, it was all USA tanks and summer shit. Now it's all Bengals and fall or whatever.
Yeah,
So, oh, yo, can I show you some of the stuff that I brought?
100%,
Okay.
bro.
So
Absolutely.
Yeah, so Jay wanted me to bring like some stuff that I sell. So instead of like a highlight reel like my Grails, like the most expensive thing I have in the store, this is literally stuff that I'm just bringing in tomorrow. So I'm at 2723 Woodburn Avenue in East Walnut Hills. I'm across from Urbana and Rusk coffee shop and new restaurant respectively. And so right now it's the end of August. We're in Cincinnati. Reds is winding down. Bengals is ramping up. So I got 4 pieces, 3 of which are Bengals and 1 is FCC. So
Bro,
where's the
that
camera?
that
That's fire.
that hat right there, Bengal Jim needs that.
Oh, I know Bengal
Yes.
Jim.
Bengal Jim,
He's a good dude.
bro. He
So
would.
this
100%.
is a Twill.
That's
This is a
him.
Sports Specialties script, OG, the Twill. I got to price it still. But so here's the other thing.
Damn, it's the is that dead stock?
I bought it dead stock. This is from the personal collection. That's the other thing. This is a nice healthy balance. We got 2 Bobby personals and 2 dead stock, which is a
Dope.
nice representation of what I have in there.
I like the Bobby personal. I like the word the.
I'm letting it fly. So it's got the
Yeah.
green
Yeah.
underbill. Which, there's a science to this. Like, green, pushes the light away from your eyes better than other colors. That's why, like, at casinos and, like, your old school desk lamp is green on the top.
Really?
Yeah, I've read that someday, and I was like, what the fuck?
And, and,
So,
and,
yeah, it's
it
real
makes
clean.
it makes sense, bro. Like you said earlier, like there's a reason for everything. Like
Yeah.
like when it comes to shopping, these subliminal messages.
Form follows function. Color, in this case, follows function. Yeah, it's you just got to pay attention. So, like, whatever this is going for on eBay, I'm going to price it, like, at least 20% less than that. A, because I'm not paying the fee, and B, just because I don't want people to have to think about it in terms of the price. If they like it and they like how it looks on them, sold. You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
Okay, so I got that. And by the way, I don't only have sports stuff, but right now, Bengals is what's doing the best for me, so I'm just kind of meeting the need of the customers.
Hey, we're like 2 weeks away, bro.
Right.
2 weeks
It's hope
away.
springs eternal. Right. So I hope everybody stays healthy. But I'd much rather be wishing I had Bengals stuff and they're in the Super Bowl than feel like I'm caught holding the bag if they go 5-12 or whatever. Although I think they might do it this year.
Yeah, I think we're looking good, bro.
So
Gresham jersey.
yeah, dead stock
Yeah,
Gresham.
still got the
Reebok,
tag
yeah,
on it.
Got the tag on it still. So these used to go for $75 was the old MSRP. And that's inflated to probably like, let's call it 100 now, right? This is like
Right.
10 years ago. And I think the Nike replicas are like 130 these days. Anyway, I'm going to price this at like no more than $40.
Dope.
So it's like almost half off what the original retail price was from like 8 to 10 years ago. So it's got the jock tag, it's upside down, XL. So, and the other thing is like, with dead stock, what's cool is like I have more than just this one. So if I sell this, I have another one, and I have other colors and other sizes. So we got Gresham. Let me go back to Bobby Personal. So I think a lot of people know Stu. from
Disco.
Pixel Night.
I was gonna ask you if you know Stu, bro.
The Disco.
Yeah, you know what's funny,
I can
man?
still call you that, right, Stu?
Dude,
I love you.
We're not allowed to call him Disco Stu anymore.
I
How
just
crazy
did.
is that?
I just did.
Yeah, bro. So like I introduced him to my wife. Like we went to
He came into the
Pixel
store.
19.
Yeah. The
And-
warehouse, or?
Yeah, the warehouse.
Dude, I
well,
still
well,
haven't been. I used to shop in his house in Clifton.
Yeah, so me too.
I
I've
got a
got
free allergy attack from his kitty cat in the basement.
Oh, really? That's funny. I
I
actually
literally would take allergy medicine. It was that bad.
I
would never do
also
that.
have a cat allergy. That's wild, bro.
the
something
last time I was at Stu's, it was probably just a year ago.
Okay.
I ended up buying. I got 2 pair of like shorts, like 80s shorts, with the tags on them, and they are Bruce Jenner's.
Oh my god!
Like it actually has like the Bruce Jenner like
Yeah, like
tag
the
on the
signature,
inside.
yeah.
So I've
It
got
used to be like a male
What?
sex symbol.
I got 3 of them. I think I got a blue pair, a white pair with black piping, and then just a white pair.
That's
They're here somewhere. I've got
He's
them
the
in
real
the back
deal, man.
room.
Whenever they shoot like period pieces, they shoot a lot of movies here because like a budget in New York or whatever. Like all these costume departments like hit him up. Like
Oh yeah,
like
him or Casablanca. Have you been to
Mhm.
Casablanca?
Oh yeah, Yeah, dude, they repaired my belt back in the day. He's like an OG cobbler. Like he's like the real fucking deal.
Yeah, dude.
I love those people.
When I was down and out, like whenever I would have a bad day, I would just call Casablanca because like I love the way the dude answered the phone. He'd be like, Casablanca. Like it was like
Tim?
it was like
Was
some,
it Tim?
It
That's
was
the guy
it was
who-
some skinny white guy
Yeah,
with
this
like
is
a
the-
deep voice.
Yes,
yeah,
this is the same dude.
Casablanca. It's like, all right,
man.
bro. I need to rent like a '70s tuxedo.
Yeah,
Baby
so they're like
blue.
an OG
It's like, got it.
vintage shop in Northside for people that aren't hip.
Yeah,
And
they're fire.
And they're way different than me. They're mainly used and they're older.
They're
like more like
props.
70s,
a
80s.
lot of
yeah.
them they rent the stuff.
Right. Okay, so anyway, so this is from Stu. This is a Champion 80s big block letter Bingle spell out. So this is the exact type of thing that like Vestal would cop to be like an homage retro. And so it's on a Champion large made in USA. So again, I got to price this, but it's going to be probably not north of $30. And then the last thing, and what's crazy about FCC is they're not that old, right? So technically, I personally define, and Etsy defines vintage as 20 years old or older. So they've only been around for what, like 7 years, something like that? Maybe not even.
I'm saying I don't even think it's been 7 years.
Maybe I'm making that up. But anyway, this is expansion era, dead stock, women's, like neon orange tank.
Oh wow.
Now, it's newer stock. It's new without tags.
Hold that back up. Hold that like where it's not. Yeah, there you go. Got it. That's awesome.
And I actually, I'm bringing this back because a nice lady came in and bought one on the Messi day. Dude, I had Messi FOMO like crazy. But this is expansion era, so this is the first merch they made for FCC when they were in the minors playing at Nippert, which I really like.
Oh wow, that's cool
And
shit.
what's cool is like with Homage and all the other stores or companies that were selling FCC, once they made that leap, there was a hard cutoff date, whatever year that was. Like I'm making this up, like on October 18th, this is the last day you can sell it. And then that's how dead stock happens. Like the stock died and went to the back and is just chilling. So I copped a whole bunch of that stuff. And places, they technically like can't even sell it. So it's just like cash under the table, like good deals, like just get this out of here. And then I'm reselling it. So dead stock OG FCC merch.
That's dope, dude.
That is dope. That is dope.
And that's just a small sampling. And like I said, I have a lot of like non-sports stuff, so I don't want people thinking it's like, oh, it's only because sportswear is kind of maybe a misleading term. It's not like it's not a sports team thing. It's just like a Russell Athletic blank sweatshirt.
You got
or
a lot of the old school Russell sweatshirts
just like
and sweatpants
just
and
comfy
shit like
basics, made in USA, which I really dig. Just well made, well cut, thoughtfully designed. Don't make it like they used to kind of stuff.
that. For sure.
The stuff that in person kind of hits different. You know, it's one thing to just like flat lay and photograph iPhone only. It's like not the same as like interacting with it and be like, damn, like this is nice.
Right. Dude,
Yeah.
I've got a Jordan Olympic jersey. It's the white one.
I had one when I first opened. I sold it.
Yeah.
I sold it for too low. I let that go for $50. That goes for like 100 plus on eBay.
Oh, wow.
I'm giving out love prices, but so what's up with yours?
I've got it's still got the tag on it.
Oh shit.
And it's got the sale price from J.C. Penney, bro. I
And
bought
how
it
much was that?
$19.99.
Right.
And it was the
So
white.
I
it was the
did okay.
white Olympic jersey.
You did okay.
I
yeah.
want the navy one. The navy one's hard to find.
I've
What
got the navy one, and you know the hard part about finding the navy one was
they made less than the white.
you know what?
think.
I think it's worse than that. Like, cause I had a couple buddies that had them as well, and when they washed them, the letters ended up washing off.
Oh, it got kind of fucky on the navy. So
It
I
was-
bet a bunch of moms just like pitched them or whatever.
It was
Gifted.
wild, bro. Like I've got
I want
so
a Thunder
many.
Dan Navy 9 Dream Team 2. That's what I want.
Oh shit, yeah.
I'm a sucker for white boy 90s champion NBA jerseys.
I've got probably 30 jerseys like from the 90s. I've got
Shit.
Muggsy Bogues, Alonzo Mourning. I've got a little bit of everybody. And I wear them all the time. And they called me Jay Jersey when I first moved here from Chicago.
I'm in a champion right now. I got the Kmart Nets.
That's
I moved
tight,
from
bro.
New Jersey to here.
I saw. I was like,
But
Sounds dope.
but yeah,
Guys that played us for $7 this year.
for some
Shout
reason,
out.
bro, the
Shout out.
dark blue USA Jordan jersey, like any of my friends that washed it, like the red on your new jersey was still there, but that gray inside all washed out, and it was
crazy.
all the white
There's
just
probably a
disappeared
different
off it.
chemical in the navies.
There, it had to be something, bro.
Because that's why the black T-shirts dry rot now. Because they started making them for a little more cheaper way and there's some chemical starting in like the mid to late 80s, I think, and a lot of dead stock black T-shirts that haven't been worn when they get moisture in them. It's called a dry rot, and just like the moisture just makes them like you can like Hulk Hogan them with like a baby could.
No kidding.
Yeah, you like put it on and it goes. So a lot of people think they came up, especially like on like rap tees and stuff. Like I see people that's like dead stock score rap tees, and all the comments are like, "Yo, they dry rotted though," because everybody's like worried about that.
Right.
Now, for whatever reason, a white tee that doesn't happen.
Huh.
There's something in the black.
Yeah, it definitely has to be like the chemical that some type of ink
And
that
there's
they
some
were
weird
using
line in
that
the
breaks
sand
down the
moment where they
cotton.
didn't used to do it.
Right.
And then they did, and all those going forward are like that.
Yeah.
Yo, I got some old school dead stock hypercolor at the store. I should have brought that shit.
Oh shit! No kidding.
Some skirts.
Does it still work?
Oh yeah, I did a test on an Instagram story the other day.
How insane is that, bro? Like I still have tees from 2012 that like I could wear my stuff every day and it won't fade, but for some reason if I have that T-shirt on a mannequin sitting in the window, fried, bro. Like there's something strange where like if the tee's just sitting there, it gets
It's like a wear your shoes thing.
yeah. But like for this though, like I could wear my shirt every day and it's not gonna tarnish the color. But if it's on the mannequin,
Even though you're out in the sun and whatever.
yeah. But if it's on the
I know what
mannequin
you
sitting
mean.
in the window within a week, like the spots that are sitting there getting the heat, it's just
Are
gonna
you talking
ruin
about the
shirt.
hypercolor
The actual
specific?
hypercolor itself. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I
wonder what it
can
is.
wear it all the time. You know,
Right.
maybe it's just a fluctuation of it going back and forth, and then if it just being in the window for 8 hours, and then, like I said, within a week, bro, it's like the shirt looks like it's changed permanently.
Light is like public enemy number one to dead stock, because I can't tell you how many things I've found that are sweet, but they're like super fried and faded.
Yeah.
Whether it's white and it's all yellow, or a color and it's all jacked up in the fold lines and stuff.
I've got
The places that kept it in the dark or in a box or on time lights. That's the money.
for sure, man. And I've got a pair of Pee Wee Herman Dunks. I wore them like 2
I
weeks
saw
ago.
those resurface when he passed away recently. Those
yeah.
are sick.
So, but those have been sitting above my bed on a shelf,
Mhm.
and it's right next to my window. And I went to
Some
go wear them,
sunlight.
bro. It's like you can
Were
tell
they
where.
loose? Like they weren't in a box?
No, yeah, they were
Right.
just sitting there wearing
So
the
what
box.
happened?
It's just the whole front of them, like it's you can tell there's a hard line where the white and the yellow just or-
They're so wearable, they're just faded?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, because
Yeah, I-
dunks hold up pretty okay.
yeah. I
Yeah.
still rock them. It's just like the sole on the sides, like half of it's tarnished yellow and the other half is
I get
like
bummed
blue
out for
white.
half a second when something like that happens, but the silver lining to that is like the honeymoon's over, so like I'm not worried about the next thing that happens to them. You know, I'm
Dude,
gonna
I
crease
wear-
them. I'm just
I
like,
wear-
they can be beaters.
I wear every one of my shoes, bro, and that's the thing is like
You
and,
have to.
and I've got
That's what I
paint-
don't like about the newer resale sneaker culture. It's like a commodity. Like, let me not crease these, like, not even retro J's. I'm like, come on,
Right.
wear your shit.
Yeah,
Right,
bro.
they're
They're
I'm-
gonna
I'm-
fall apart. They're gonna fall apart.
Yeah.
Just wear 'em.
What we
unless you wear them. If you don't
Right.
wear them, that's when they
what,
fall
what,
apart.
That's what I'm saying.
What were we talking about with the shoes? Like it came off like you just like you could scrape it off.
Oh, you're talking about my shoes or the shoes that.
I think they were your shoes, but you were talking about like the
I-
shoes that made in a certain time, the heels.
Yeah, so
To
my
basically
so
break
like
apart,
I've got the original Jordans. I've got the ones up to the 13s from the 80s.
I want to talk about this. All right. Yeah.
And
I think you're
and
going
so
where I wanna
when
go.
when shoes started to get popular, maybe like 20 years ago, I told my mom, I was like, hey, grab my shoes. It was at her house in Alabama. They were all in like a Tupperware big bin. I was like, bring them back to Kentucky. You know, I wanna wear them. And she sent me a video. She's like, they're all falling apart.
Guy's a Steelers fan. It's fucked up.
And I'm like, no, I know they're falling apart. Like I've wore the shit out of them, but bring them back. She's like, no, they're falling apart like muffins. And then she sent me a video.
Crumbling and stuff.
She grabbed the sole and her fingers went right
Yeah,
through
that
it, and
midsole.
it crumbled like a muffin. And I was
and
like,
that wasn't
are you
even.
kidding
That was
me?
20 years ago.
20
so
years
it hadn't
ago.
even been a ton of time.
Right. And so she threw them all away. So I was like, well, I just fucking toss them because this was before they had the resolers and everyone that was
Yeah,
able
what's
to
crazy
resole
is
all
you
the
can sell
shoes.
some dead stock, like I'm making like Jordan 4s that are crumbling for a lot of money.
Yeah, bro.
I don't want to pay up for them because then you got to pay somebody to resole them. Like what you're
Right.
saying, like dude, I'm just gonna get the retros.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's what happened to all my shoes, and that was just a chemical that was in the foam back in the
But
back
the
in the
ones,
80s.
for example, still hold up. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean? So just like Vans, just like the vulcanized rubber and canvas, just like the simpler natural materials are the things that hold up.
Right.
Like I have, you've seen my eBay. Like a lot of my sneakers, I have like some 70s and 80s joggers, and those hold up because
Yeah.
it's just simpler materials. It's just like rubber, canvas, and glue.
Yeah.
But all the stuff from like the late 80s through the 90s, like some of the crazy LA Gears or like Air Maxes, just anything that has like air and stuff in it, that polyurethane or like that synthetic midsole, it just gets cooked.
Yeah.
It just deteriorates like crazy, like the muffin, like what you're saying. So I like the shoes that are old as hell that are still wearable.
For sure. Yeah, now that I think about it, the pair that my mom, the video that she sent me were the Nines, and the Nines they did have some type of
What colorway are these?
they were black. They were black with the red.
Are these the Kilroys or? No, I know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, so I had two pairs. I had the black and white ones and the black and black ones with the red.
Nines are slept on. I have the Carolinas.
Yeah. So, but the sole itself had like almost like a glitter to it. So like I don't know if it was like from what you're saying, it's kind of making sense that like the old Reeboks, the ones that have the standard soles, those things held up. But like now that I'm thinking about it, the rubber, like it came up on the sides and they try to make it look cool, make it look better
Like
than
the
just
technology.
Yeah,
But
I think it had Chinese
love
writing
that.
on the side.
I love
actually.
that.
Yes, it does. It does have some.
So, but that was
writing.
the actual shoe where she just sent me the video and she just grabbed the sole and it just all that black just turned to beige when she grabbed it. I was like, what is happening to
Yeah.
my shit,
Sad.
bro?
Yeah, that
happened to me.
I'm glad. That's perfect. Well, like that whole situation is perfect for this podcast because when he was explaining to me, I was like, "There's no way that's real. There's no way that's real. Is that what vintage has become? Like, is that what that is? Like, are we just like yeah? Because like you see things, certain things hold up in the test of time, right? But that quality of shoe and that like era and that like how like it's on a pedestal, and then when he's telling me that, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, my mom showed me like it's breaking up like a
muffin.
muffin." And I'm like,
Literally, it
what?
looked just like a muffin.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, and it kind of blew my mind, thinking like, you know what? Like, were they cutting corners? Like, we like, is this vintage stuff? Like, because certain stuff's like super solid. Like, I have stuff that like still holding up jerseys. Jerseys in the past seem stronger than the jerseys today. Like, I mean, they're raising the price on jerseys, and the quality's
They're
diminishing.
usually going. I mean, you can play it like a car, a house. The quality of materials typically decreases and the price increases,
Yeah.
and therefore the margins do.
Yeah,
And it's kind of a bummer. You see the same thing with clothes. Like true vintage is not my lane, but that's like stuff that's like basically like pre-70s. And it's a lot of like all natural materials, like 100% cotton denim jacket, or like a really old school varsity cardigan, or some like 100-year-old Levi's and that kind of stuff.
Do you ever like deal with like old like cowboy boots or?
Nah, I mean I've come
everything?
across
Okay.
it, but like I said, I'm trying to be like relatively focused. Like basically, I like to be able to say that all the stuff I have for sale would be like shit that I would wear myself.
Okay,
Like if
yeah,
I was a little
yeah.
kid, if I was a girl, if I was
Okay.
a 2X, so it's like all stuff. If I was a Steelers fan or like whatever it is, it's all stuff that like is my taste. You know what I
Oh.
mean? I just can't rock or keep all of it, obviously.
Sure, yeah. So you don't. You said denim. How often do you deal with denim?
So I do have a lot of dead stock denim, actually.
Okay.
I have a lot of 70s and 80s Wranglers and Lee jeans. So
Fire, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to sell that shit in Japan.
Well, the places where I find them from, all the core sizes, the Japanese were already there.
Oh,
Like that,
yeah.
that story I was going to tell, I didn't finish about when you were talking about the Air Maxes or the Forces you saw on eBay, where I got like 100 pair of dead stock Nikes and all the posters. I asked him because I had to. I was like, "Yo, you got any Jordans?" And he's like, "Dude, this was in like 2016." And he's like, he like laughed in my face, and he was like, "You would have had to have been here in like 1991 when the Japanese were here." And I was like, "Fuck!" Like I'm like. It actually makes me feel better that I'm
Right.
not like, it's like, oh, they just came here the other day. It's like, no. What's so crazy in my industry is specifically the Japanese have such an appreciation and affinity
For
for
culture.
Americana and
Yeah.
American culture.
Yeah.
There's better and more vintage there on that very small island compared to the whole United States than all of here. Because
Right.
they've come here and fucking bought it all.
Mhm.
So I have a lot of Wranglers, but it's kind of like shoes like bookend sizes. Like, that's a trade-off with some dead stock. I mean, sometimes you can get a full size or something like that. That's dope. But a lot of times it's like, okay, for shoes, I got some 8s and 9s, and then I got like an 11 or 12. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
but all the 10.5s are sold out or whatever. So similar with the denim, I got a lot of smaller sizes, like for women and for kids, or just like a skinny beanpole dude. Or like some big boy sizes, like 34, 36, 38. So I typically throw those up on eBay. You know what I mean? If it's like a random ass size, or
For
it's like
sure.
a normal waist size, like a 30, but the inseam's like 36. I was like, who the like, you know what I mean? It's like Victor Wembanyama.
Right,
It's
right,
like,
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not an alien. So,
Yeah, you know.
but I do have a lot of dead stock denim, and I am planning on representing that in the store in the fall.
Awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge fan of vintage diesel jeans, like like.
Well, that's
the-
coming back now, like that early 2000s Y2K stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, honestly, my personal style is starting to reflect that now. I've been wearing like penguin polos and like band tees over long sleeve tees and like the whole like.
Bro, I cannot
emo
wait to
scene is coming
wait.
back. Dude, I'm so into it.
I can't wait to look like.
I'm like high school Bobby right now.
Right, right, dude. I really think the short sleeve with the long sleeve tee underneath it. Like, I don't know why. It could be because I've been watching the whole season of Big Bang Theory this year. But like, I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
Nice.
like Sheldon. Like, I can see the t-shirt with the long sleeve t-shirt underneath it coming back this year as just
It
as
is
like
oh,
a grunge
it
thing.
Totally is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I need to get some of that like newer vintage in there because that's what's hot right now. Whatever was cool 20 years ago is like the hottest thing in my industry.
Yeah.
So like 2003.
Right, and so like I've noticed like the whole Y2K.
Like the Bass Pro Shop hats we were talking about.
Yeah, but
I
like,
had one in high school in 03. They're hot
Oh.
again. Von
Yeah.
Dutch.
Right, dude. Dude, they were so smart, man. We're actually
that
trying
shit.
We
to
talk Von Dutch a
steal.
lot.
And what
yeah.
they were doing back then, they were just retroing early 80s stuff.
Right.
It's like I was rocking the Le Tigre that I got at the mall, or Lacoste, which was hot in 83, and
Yep.
then 03 and 23. It's crazy.
Yeah, bro. Le Tigre, that's funny, man.
It's very like formulaic when you think about it.
for sure.
It is.
It's
It
all
is.
and it's all comes back
It's
in
not
20
random at
years,
all.
man.
Yeah.
It's all comes back. I'm still waiting for people to peg their pants, bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm here for it if you guys want to start pegging your pants and tight rolling them, but you know, the like for right now, like the diesel jeans, like I'm a 30 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like being a 40-year-old at a 30, it's like, man, I can find some decent diesel jeans on eBay for
Shout
like
out to your waistline.
$60 or something, right? So like I went like I've got like 5 or 6 pair of diesel jeans that are all. And the cool thing about diesel jeans is they all got the
I think
year.
Urban carried those back in the day.
Yeah, they've all got like they're labeled. They all got like a wash number and then the date that they were made, and then it has like how many that were done.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so like you know every pair of jeans I've got, it says like 1996 on it. You know, 1998, and it's like that's just fire to me, bro. Like especially because like the denim is superior to anything that I've messed with, man. Like when it comes to diesel jeans, they're
I love
fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
And-
come
and
across
I-
some that's like diesel tees, but never denim.
Yeah.
And I'd freak out over that.
Yeah, it's all
I have a diesel
it's-
jacket. It's super.
Nice.
Got a TJ Maxx.
I got to get the flit like
Solid.
they're
I'm
all
a
the
Maxinista.
they're all the
What's up?
Zathans,
Yeah.
bro. They all got to be the tight around the hips and then they flare out at the
Yeah,
feet.
yeah, and skinnies are kind of falling off, obviously. So it's that cut you're describing is kind of the wave too.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
I
I'm
stay
here
in
for it.
like mine aren't that skinny.
No, I kind of stay with skinnies too.
Yeah.
I got bird legs. I gotta
Yeah.
represent.
got
but I
the-
appreciate what's hot. You
Yeah.
got to at least know what's on trend and then kind of decide what you want to do.
Bro, I shop at the Japanese women's section for my pants. Like, cause I've got
That's hot.
I've got the small waist, and then like so I can get these big pipe jeans, bro. Like the big Jinko, like the pipe jeans that they used
Jinkos
to
are
bring.
coming back.
Are they?
I think so.
I mean, I know the baggy pants are. I don't know if Jinko's still a thing. That's it'd be fire if they're still around. There it is, bro. That's a perfect.
Yeah, the stuff that was
Jinkos
like
from the
the
90s.
stuff that can be like cringy, like that's so of a time. That's the stuff that comes back because it's like a caricature of that era, and people are
Right.
like, yes, I want a piece of that.
And you can hop right on that train because these 16-year-old kids that are going to
Yes.
Goodwills and all that, they're
Yes.
not looking for Jinkos.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, and for people like us, like we know that shit was expensive. That was a $60, $70 pair
That
of
was
pants.
like, Mom, will you please buy me?
Yes.
Yeah, at Pacific
Literally.
Sunwear.
Yeah.
Back before it was PacSun.
PacSun.
Pacific Sunwear.
Bro, yeah.
Alien Workshop, bro. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They're I didn't know that Alien Workshop was started by Rob Deirdre. That shit blew my mind, man. It was like, bro,
love Rob.
that started right here in Ohio. Like,
Dude, you know
Dude,
what?
so many things started in Ohio. It's crazy.
it's crazy.
Ohio is
like
like
every actor and musician is like born in Dayton, Ohio.
dude,
I'm like,
they
what the
all
fuck?
Dayton. I was just about to say
It's
like
the Mecca.
so many of the like the metalcore scene was created in Dayton. Well, Joey Sturgis in Indiana, but he took all these Dayton bands and he just created a genre, which is like the Devil Wears Prada, Miss May
I
I,
listened to Devil Wears the other day.
Attack.
Dude, Levi.
Mice
I
and
love
Men.
that Levi.
Levi
from
Benton, yeah.
I love Levi.
He's a homie. I'm trying to get him on the podcast soon.
Dude, you should. He just followed my kid's account the other day. I got, hey, come into the store, bro.
Yeah. He
They had a brick and mortar retail in Clifton back in the day.
Yeah, Versa Limited.
JoJo's doing tattoos
Yeah.
by my house. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're, I love them.
Yeah. I'd love to have. He comes to the Levy a lot. I think he's
Nice.
down in the area now. He's staying down here, but like I think he's actually working on a house. He's
Hell, yeah. They've been doing some renovating.
Yeah. So
I
that
see it on the Insta.
right. So like, but that era is Joey Sturgis is like in Indiana, but like all these Dayton bands, bro. It's just everybody in Dayton. Like Ohio's just
I've
so
been running all
much.
I was listening to
It's
Attack
wild.
Attack the other day.
Oh, yeah.
I was listening to Punkos Crunk, Devil Wears, Still Fly.
Oh yeah.
I love all that shit.
That's a throwback. Yeah, that's awesome. That era is like, that era just sits in its own place.
Oh, so speaking of like
yeah.
non-sports, I just found like a whole like clear plastic bag in my basement of like size small, like concert Warped Tour Hot Topic band tees, and almost all of them are too small for me. So I'm gonna do like a reel really soon, and they're all gonna be up for grabs. Like Jimmy Eat World, Dashboard, Academy is, Fallout Boy, Rooney, Incubus,
Oh, nice.
tons of shit. I'm excited to have that represented in the store really soon.
Man, you know,
That's
we,
cool.
we need to talk to the Levy to get to hash out that market that we were talking about doing. We were talking about trying to get the Levy to do a market where somebody like you can come in and get a 10x10 booth here
Yeah.
in the gallery. Just like a one-day event where, you know, everybody can come in and start selling stuff.
That would fill up really quickly.
Bro,
Those
like-
are
like-
they did one on the block where my store is. They did 3 of them this summer, and they were well like rented and well attended.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
and
they
then
killed
the,
it.
the thing is when there's open availability over a trade to
Yeah, why not?
for you to open a store. So it's like, you know, if you got enough followers, and if you can come down here and kill it, and make $2,000-3,000 in one day, it, you know, it might put
That'd
you
be
in
nice.
perspective that, hey, I can get a store over here at trade and then knock it out all the time.
I think that was like when they first started the whole like, you know, when they first started over the exchange, that whole like exchange to the transition to here, like I feel like they've kind of done like that on a different scale, because like that exchange program and then to bring into trade and do like to bring everyone inside, the Levy has done a really good job at navigating these businesses and doing stuff that a little bit like, this is all local. Everything in here that you see, man, it's all local. Like they're in Philly
It's crazy
market,
how much
yeah.
it's changed
Dude,
over
it's
the years. I remember in
wild.
high school, this was a big deal going down here on like a Friday night on a date.
Oh,
like
it
going
used to be
taking your
so
go to like
fun, bro.
Dewey's and a movie. That was like or like the Hollister that was
That
outside.
Hollister was fire, bro.
Dude, I don't want to be a narc, but my buddy / coworker had this whole scam going where he'd redeem some gift cards at that one. I'll leave it at that. But it was
Nice.
that was like the infamous Hollister, or like the Barnes and Noble back then. This is like stomping grounds.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
I remember walking around this place like 3 o'clock in the morning, leaving Jefferson Social, like that, the bar that was right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Just like, how the fuck can drunk people just be walking through this place at 3 o'clock in the morning like this?
That's
That
awesome.
Blew my mind.
Yeah. Things are definitely changed. There's no 3 a.m. I mean, Beeline, but you don't come back inside here. Everything's outside now. The drink
Yo,
in
wasn't
here.
there Journeys right there?
Yeah.
Yep.
This dude,
Yeah,
this
right here.
dude that dated this, he had hella tattoos. He dated this girl I worked with at Urban, and I think he was the manager there, like 10 years ago. But hopefully, you know, this was like the pinnacle of like dopeness in 03. So we're talking about all things cyclical
Nostalgia,
coming back.
yeah, bringing it back.
Maybe there will be a Levy moment coming soon.
Need to, bro. So they've got like Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville and hotel. They're moving down here.
Because he used to be in the casino, right? Or restaurant.
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. His restaurant was in the casino, but now he's actually building a hotel and resort here.
Hell yeah.
So
That'll be good for you guys.
Yeah,
With a rooftop pool.
The IMAX that's been sitting outside.
Yeah, yeah.
That empty IMAX. So they bought that, and then they're putting the hotel next to it. So that open like parking lot right across from Thompson House or Southgate House. What was it?
Thompson House.
Thompson House.
Thompson
I'm
House.
gonna call it Southgate till I die.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I know what
Southgate. So Southgate Revival's over.
And it's Paul Brown Stadium. They're called Joe Burrow Stadium. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
it needs to be Joe Burrow
you know-
Stadium.
Paycor, they did my pay stubs. I'm not like no shade to Paycor, but I ain't calling it that.
when do you think that Burrow's gonna get that contract?
Well, I heard they might have done it the other day because some guy on Twitter was like, "Why is Paul Brown lit up green? Did they just pay the man? What's going on?"
It
So I don't know.
They could have. Yeah.
They need to. They lock
It's
that
about-
up.
well, I
Put a
think-
ring on it. Come on.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like people are like, why haven't they paid him? But if he does a team friendly deal, that'd be cool. But I have no
They
problem.
got to keep T.
I've right,
my boy.
but I have no problem with him getting the whole bag. I have zero problem with it because I think he deserves it for what it's worth.
Give him the whole
But-
bag now, and then he can do the Brady playbook and do the
Yeah.
team-friendly deal when he's like 32.
Yeah. He's gonna get enough
Right.
endorsements. He can get it either way. But
He already got his knee shredded thanks to
Yeah,
their
yeah.
shitty O-line
exactly,
a few years ago. Like,
if anything, he's deserving of the money. But
Right.
they have to really move stuff. They have to make moves in order to pay him because we've never paid an athlete like this. So he'd be the first of his kind of what Cincinnati's paid. So I can see them having issues given
he's
given that
first
kind
of his kind that
But-
Cincinnati's had. So.
But
Exactly.
but they're
Since
also
they
this,
said,
this,
exactly.
this is the first time that it's hard to find Bengals tickets. So
It
they're
is.
making money.
So that's what's actually
But to
worked
pay
out
him
so
his
well
kind of money
for me. I was buying dead stock Bengals stuff when like nobody wanted it.
Dude.
Like I was questioning. I was like, is this a bad buy? Like, what am I doing? Am I just being a homer?
Right.
And like not knowing. This was the dog days, like the end
Yeah.
of Marv and the end of Dalton.
Yeah.
And I respect both those guys and I appreciate what they did for the city. But towards the end, they the feeling was they'd kind of worn out their welcome or whatever.
Yeah.
And some down years and. I was getting tons of jerseys and again questioning like is this even a wise decision? And I'm
Right.
so glad I did, dude. It was so crazy the Super Bowl run 2 years ago. Just the national relevancy and following. Like the Bengals are like I don't think I'm being a homer. I think they're like the coolest team.
the coolest team
in the NFL.
And then they dropped the white jerseys too. That
Dude,
just
the
that just
color rush are
solidified
so
it.
fucking
Yeah.
sick.
No, and I'm in the same boat, bro. Because when I had the store in Dayton, it was like, I would print orange shit for Bengals, I would print red shit for the Reds, and we would lose that Sunday game, and people would be like, I'll come back next Sunday to buy it, and then we would
Yeah,
lose
dude,
that. We would lose that game,
That
and
is
now
the
we had to put
most-
the shit on sale.
It's so fair weather with that merch. That's why I'm saying like I want to get it while the getting's good. I
Yeah.
hope they win the whole thing, but I also hope I sell out long before that happens.
Right, for sure.
It's the nature of the beast, man. Especially like I got to see that at Homage firsthand because when I was there were some lean years for the Reds,
Yeah.
and people were just like if they win they buy, if they lose they wait.
Right.
This is how it is.
Yeah, and the past 2 years for the Bengals, man, like we've been selling orange shit all year, which is nice. It's like even in off season, people are buying Bengals stuff, man. So it's
That's
great.
what's
It's great
crazy.
to see.
The demand, like when I opened at the end of June, I was saying it's surreal to me that it makes business sense for me to have Bengals stuff available for purchase out of season. That never would have made sense. Like even when they were making the playoffs, like with
Is this on sale? Like it would be like it
Right,
3 years
yeah,
ago.
somehow
This
it's
is
like,
on
oh, it's
sale,
on
right?
sale, right?
Yeah, it's off season.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
if anything, it's like over ask like the housing market now. Like,
Right,
people are, like
right.
fighting over Bengal shit.
They
This
are
Is,
the-
I still can't. My brain is still kind of processing it, but it's awesome.
They do fight over
It
Bengal
is.
shit. And
I'm
that-
like I don't know how to price stuff anymore. Like I'm trying to give out love prices. I'm like, is somebody gonna flip this? Is this like too good of a price? Like,
yeah, yeah.
Right.
People come in the store all the time and they're like, "We're so glad you have that in stock. We're looking for cool Bengals gear. You can't get cool
you can't
Bengals."
find this anywhere.
Anyway, it's a constant stream of people saying that.
Dude, I almost bought a ticket to the was it a Monday night game where the Bills guy got hurt, and I just remember the tickets the day of were like crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like Bengals prime time. That like people give a shit. This is awesome.
It's crazy, man. And it wasn't like that 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Or
No.
4 years ago, it was like
They used to be like the laughing stock of the league.
yeah,
man.
you'd be able to
Yeah.
go. You'd be able to go tailgate and either get a ticket for free or buy one for $30.
Literally.
All day. I like
Yeah.
$30 was my max price.
50
on-
for, like, a
on
good
tickets.
one.
I was getting
Like-
30 for any
For a good one?
ticket.
Oh.
Yeah, man. But it was like now it's like, bro, $200 is gonna get you in the door. It's like, wow, man.
Yo, the cheapest Messi ticket was $300. It's dope to see FCC doing well too.
Yeah. We actually had.
Now, if we can only have all three teams good.
We
at
had
the same time.
Lucho in last night. Lucho
Oh,
Acosta
nice.
stopped in the
Yeah.
store. We made him a
That's awesome.
T-shirt. He picked up a couple hats. But he's a small dude, man. He's
Yeah, I was
smaller
at
than
Hell Is
Andrew.
Real on Cbus, and I was like, damn, that dude's like odd job out there. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, bro. But he's cool as shit, man.
He
Super
is
down to
cool.
earth. Family's great. Got two
Nice.
kids, a beautiful wife. He's out there killing it.
He is killing the game, bro. And like the entourage that like follows him was so dope.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Dude, it was wild. They were at
Camera
Velocity.
crew. He's got a
yeah,
whole nine.
camera
behind
crew.
him.
He's got everybody. They were at Velocity. They did
Filming
like
a
an
doc?
event. No, I think they had like an event for like I don't know if it was young soccer players that they had for some kind of camp, something.
Okay.
No, they have like he wanted shirts made for some soccer event with the youth. So he does some kind of youth event. So
That's really cool.
yeah, so they were all playing games and they were like playing
Air hockey.
air hockey, and he was competing against just different people. It was fun. It was cool. We gave him a hat, and then
It's cool
print him
when
a shirt.
the
it was
best
just cool.
players on the teams here kind of like show out and put on
Yeah.
for the city.
Really,
You know
that,
what I
that
mean?
that's like really that's where I'm at with it. It's like
It goes a long way.
yeah, it does.
It does, man.
It does because we hear like. Because like it's not like it's a major market for any sports period. Like
Right.
it's just this area is like it's like that when we used to talk about like musicians and touring, like we were always like just hoping they would come to Cincinnati. We're just hoping. We knew they were
Of
going
course they're
everywhere
in
else.
Cleveland.
Exactly,
Detroit.
Columbus or Louisville. They would skip Cincy just because of the era. But like that's our city. It's not guaranteed you're gonna get it here. So when you
That's
when
what
you
I
do,
like about Cincy. We're
Me
like
too,
I always say
yeah.
we're the isolationist city of Ohio. Like I don't say I'm from Ohio. I say I'm from Cincinnati.
Right.
And we're not even in Cincinnati right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
For sure.
people from Columbus are more like about the state, and they lean and align more with Cleveland sports teams.
Right,
and
right.
obviously Cleveland does because that's where they are. And I don't know. I think Cincinnati's like so much cooler.
It is, bro. It is. I
It's
lived
definitely
in,
different. It's
I
a
lived in
minimum different.
Chicago, lived in Tampa, lived here, and it's like, man, Cincinnati's got something to it, bro. There's something here.
Mm-hmm. The
Even
pockets here.
Dre Kirkpatrick said the same thing. We had him on the podcast, and he
Nice.
was like, bro, like he's like when I'm
He's
from,
been to some
he's-
cities.
He's from Houston, and he was like, bro, like when I
Athletes like Houston.
yeah, and he's like when my Bengals career was done here, he's like I wanted to put back into the city, so he's
That's
opening
awesome.
up a club and a restaurant downtown.
That's really cool.
yeah.
The old
it's called Memories.
Where was it?
It used to be Play.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I know
Play
where it is.
and
Yeah.
and
Is
what
that like on 6, I think?
yeah, what was the name of the bar next to it? It had a big like grizzly bear as their logo.
Oh my gosh. I remember going to like dollar taco night there
Yeah,
like
dude.
13 years ago. Oh my gosh.
What the fuck was the name of that place?
I'm thinking of what you're talking about. Is that the place where they have like cologne squirters in the bathroom?
I'm
I'm
sure.
sorry.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
I remember that back in the day at Fountain Square, they had that for some Friday concerts.
Bro, they like in
I was
any.
like, how much do I tip you? Can I have a paper towel?
Yeah,
Right.
you can. Yeah, that you can't have a paper towel. There's no paper towels in a dispenser. You got to look them in the eye to get one.
You gotta,
Dude's like in a tux.
you gotta face the music. right
yeah,
here.
bro. Like, can I get a paper towel? He's like, can I get
Cash-only
a
paper
dollar?
towels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of tip do you have?
Wait a minute, man. Why is there no toilet paper in this stall here?
How much money's in
Like
your
some
wallet?
imitation Polo Blue, sir. What's up?
Right, dude. Those were the days, though, man. That's what Cincinnati's really built on, dude. Like,
I miss it.
yeah, man.
Palomino.
Bro, Palominos. So I had, I told Andrew about this when
Right
I
by
worked at,
Tiffany.
and I worked at Brio downstairs when they first opened, and the manager there would hook me up with all the best shifts. So like he would hook me up with like a Friday night, Saturday night on the patio, and I would sell my shifts to other people for $50.
Secondary market shifts.
Yeah, dude. And then on
I've never even heard of the
so-
concept. I like it.
So when he quit Brio, he ended up working at Palominos, and my dad was the printer for Continental Web, and they were printing those Reach magazines. So the Reach magazine had a buy one get one free meal, lunch and dinner in the book. So I called up the manager of Palominos. I was like, hey, I've got these Reach magazines that get you buy one get one free. So I sold him the books for $5 each, and he was just in there just doing his own little thing to make a couple extra bucks on his end, bro.
Oh, that's awesome too.
You know, you got to bounce the ball on the court, man. You know, you got to have fun with the people that you have fun with.
Hustling.
Yeah, bro. So
It's addicting.
it is,
Yeah.
man. It is, and it
Seeing the little incremental wins is just what it's about. Like
it doesn't stop either,
yeah,
and
and
that's
it
and
just
you know
compiles,
every
yeah.
time you're in a store.
Larry June says you always want more.
Right. Yeah. Look, Larry June. Look, and Yaman's not even here to comment on it. That's like his
Yeah.
favorite artist right now.
Shout out Yaman, man. Shout
Then
out.
Drake's right because you can't have everything, so you got to navigate.
Right.
You can't have everything.
All right. So the 10-year plan for legit, man. Where are you at?
Ooh, you
and
put me on the spot.
Where are you at in 10?
Okay.
Give
so
me
in
give me a
10
5
years,
a 5
At
and a
least
10.
5 years.
Okay.
That's it.
No. You're good. You're good. I want to have more than one store. I want to have my kids helping me out some, like
100%.
for real happening.
Yeah. Where would the second store be?
That's a great question. I think I probably want to be double repped in Cincy first.
Okay.
You know, like probably like home base where I am, because what's even great. My dream was to have my own store. I can skate to the store from my house.
Yeah, it's
so
incredible.
my commute's like,
That's awesome.
what's
That's
up?
awesome.
So I want to have either like an OTR downtown representation as well, because
Dope.
like what we've been talking about, I'm passionate about downtown and keeping it alive and keeping it, or revitalizing, I suppose. So downtown proper would be dope. More of a web presence, and probably like a little bit of, because I do a lot of custom dead stock, you know, that says like legit on it and it's printed on it.
It's
I find
fire,
a dead stock
bro.
blank.
It's so it's what Warren Buffett, bro. Is that what he said when he was just clean and simplistic? Or no, that was Apple, right? That you're
Jobs,
talking about?
right.
Yeah.
That
Clean
I-
and simplistic.
That's my North Star for the shit I make, for sure.
legit babes and
Mhm.
legit vintage. Like both of those, it's so simple,
and then
dude.
the kids call legit junior.
Oh,
Griffey
shit.
and Cal, my favorite two MLB guys. I'm a junior,
There
and that's
it
why
is.
my son is Trip, because he's a third. So anyway, just
That's
more
tight.
a dedicated
tight.
section of like, you know, more concentrated custom stuff like that. Like, you know, my own brand, like your store. It's all native stuff.
For sure.
I want to, you know, because we talked about pre-recording, like one of the reasons I like Deadstock is it's more efficient, it's more sustainable. I saw this Gresham. I have a bunch more where that came from, as opposed to Bobby Personal, like after this is gone. So the next step beyond
I love
this,
that hat though. It's sick.
that hat is fire.
I know it's so dope.
hot,
I
sticky-
just
hot,
can't-
sticky
yeah,
fire.
Right.
So after I
Bango
sell through all
Jam.
these joints, then if I just make my own thing, obviously you just put in another wholesale order and you're good to go.
Right.
So that's kind of my big picture plan. I want to get more. I want to get like events. I want to have, like, I want to help people like that were me 10 years ago get started. So if you want to pop up in my store with just, even if it's a modest rolling rack or whatever, like I probably wouldn't even charge you. I just want you to come. I want to meet you. I want to network with you. I want to hang out with you. I want your friends to come and check my stuff out, and vice versa. I want to have performers like rappers, bands come in. I want to have some art represented.
Dope.
I went to my first business association meeting for East Walnut Hills the other day, and we're talking about trying to compete with like OTR and stuff like that. And I don't think I'm like talking out of school here. And, you know, they have Final Friday, they have Second Sunday. We have Walk on Woodburn, which is the second Friday of every month. Come do your thing here or there. And we want to make it more of an event. So like, whether it's live music or I have an artist with his paintings or just something different to lure people over to our neck of the woods,
Yeah.
because it's on the come up and there's more retail and restaurants than there've ever been. But, you know, we're still kind of the little bro to OTR, and I'm hyper competitive. I'm super proud of the neighborhood that I live in and have a store in, and I want to compete with the big dogs.
Right.
in OTR.
Sure.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And all my experience working there, you know, I went to grad school for retail in OTR. So I learned a lot of shit, tried to be a sponge, and I'm trying to apply it to my business now.
That's incredible, bro. And you know, you like I said, I don't mean to keep beating a dead horse, but you've got 10 years on everybody else when it comes to this thing, man, because you've been, you know, you've got a ton of back stock already, so you've got, you know,
I got the merch. And what's that kind of cliche about like how many hours you need to be like an expert or master of your craft or whatever? Like I put in the time.
For
Like
sure.
I saw this guy who's more OG and a bigger dog than me. He's Full Court Classics, and I totally agree with the sentiment. He's like, I see cats that have been in the game for like 1 or 2 years open up their physical store, like WTF, you know, like from a like pay your dues, do your research, be knowledgeable perspective. It's like people like him, people like me are kind of like, huh? Like, you know what I mean? So like I put in the time, I put in the work. Like this is my life. Like I eat, sleep, and breathe this, you know,
For
like
sure.
blood, sweat, tears. So that I do feel like that sets me apart from some of the other. And again, I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody that is doing what I want to do. I think the more people that do it here, the better.
right.
But yeah, what I'm proud of the fact that I've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it. Absolutely.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with being proud of that you were ahead of the curve on it, bro. Because you know you're doing something that
and I wasn't even trying to be. I wasn't like, let me hop on this before it gets hot. It was like, this is what I love,
right,
and it just worked out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like you like wearing this stuff, and it's like I'm the same way, man. Like everything that
I'd be rocking this anyway. I don't give a shit.
Right. 100%. And everything that I wear, like I'm 42, bro. Like I don't need to be wearing diesel jeans and Jordan 1s and Seinfeld t-shirts, but like, you know, I'm just comfortable with who I am, and it's like, you know,
I always thought like, you know, I'm fill in the blank age. Oh, by then, like I can't wear fill in the blank silhouette. And I'm like, fuck that. Like if I wear you love, do what you love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be about it.
That's what I'm learning hard, like pretty heavy now at 35. Talk to you 36.
Dude, that's a landmark age.
Yeah, 35 is great. It's like, it's gonna be my best year. I can feel it. And like, but the thing is
hell yeah.
As I'm a 13-year-old dude, when I was 13, I feel like that I've just a grown-up version of that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So like my style, my interests, like I didn't wear logos for the longest time, but like that was a whole different era. But like the thing is, chapter if you will, but like
I will.
At 13, right? At 13, like I feel like where I'm at now is just the grown-up version. There's like no different. My interests
the
are the
older
same.
I get, the more I realize that like
It's the
grown-ups they're figuring out on the fly. Just like,
Yeah.
kids just, at least I just assume that grown-ups had it all figured out, and they definitely don't.
They
So,
don't.
You know, you may look at me and be like, bro has Peter Pan syndrome or whatever, but I'm just, you know, being
yourself.
true to myself.
Exactly. That's where I'm getting at. Is like people that conform and fit to whatever they're looking for. I just feel like the natural growth of where I'm at, and like based on all the movements I've made,
I'm
and
allergic to that shit.
maybe a little bit of luck or different things have led me to the point where I'm at, and it allows me to be my
Just be real.
true self. Right?
Be
Exactly.
real.
With
And
the
dressing is like
Yeah.
I feel I'm dressing honestly. I feel like if I was wearing other shit, I'd be being dishonest. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
It's just like I'm so passionate about just what you wear. To me, says so much about you, and I put so much thought into it. And I'm not trying to sound snobby, because anybody that's snobby, it's just because they have a higher level of interest in that field than the average person, whether it's food or cars or clothes or whatever. But like, if you really give a shit about something, work in that field, and that's what I've chosen to do.
Yeah, like to me, money's a byproduct of happiness and what you do and where you put your time into. If you want to put your time into something and it's just a hobby, but that hobby becomes such a big deal that it becomes maybe a way to get a little income on the side. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
That's
But
like what I was thinking about when I was at Urban. It sort of feel like work, and this doesn't feel like work. When you work for, I'd rather. What's that cliche like? Entrepreneurs would rather work 80 hours for themselves than 40 hours for the man, and that's me, like for sure.
100%, bro.
yeah, I don't feel like I'm at work at any places that I do. I want to be
Same.
there. I want to be there wholeheartedly.
I love
like
it.
It's just the way where I'm at
I
now.
like can't
But there was a
imagine
time when
not
it was-
doing this. I'm like, wait, what's there's an alternative to this? What's that? Sounds
Exactly.
terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, my mom, you know, like when I was struggling with cash and like trying to get this clothing line off the ground, like
It's hard, man. You gotta be hella liquid to open up a store
yeah, bro,
or
and-
take
and-
on a lot of debt.
Well, and she was telling me, she was like, "Look, you're so good at designing stuff. Like, why don't you try getting a job with one of these major brands that
My mom
that
was
you
like, Bobby, just go work for Nike. You love Nike, and I'm like,
yeah, and I'm like, that's not it. Like, you're not understanding the
I
big
at least
picture,
gotta
man.
try this first.
Right.
Well, if everyone does that, that's when you get all these giant box companies taking over the world, like in Amazon or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you gotta. This sounds like so freaking lame and corny, but like that Gandhi, like be the change, like that's like the real deal shit. You know what I mean?
For
like,
sure.
You gotta like do it.
Bro, we
Like,
haven't been
live
on
your
this
code.
We haven't been on this earth long. We don't know how our bodies work. Like I'm sure in 100 years we're gonna be able to live to be 150 once we start figuring shit out.
I mean,
like we're
yeah,
so fresh
yeah.
and we're so like
We don't know.
We
don't
have
know-
all these feelings
Yeah.
and emotions. I'm not a robot. I like one of the first eBay shops, or no, it was a brick and mortar in Boston, and they were like super sporty and Celtics and shit, and they were called Allergic to Cubicles, and I was like, yeah,
oh, that's
yeah.
tight.
Me
That
too.
is so dope.
Me
That
too.
is so dope.
Facts.
That's
Right.
Yeah, like that. You know, it's funny because I'm my goal was to not be at a desk. So I worked I was in
Same-
mortgage
same thing.
processing
Oh, nice.
for Fifth Third. Got laid off because of the Obama refinance program. Then got an internship at Madison Theater, and then kind of went that route with the arts, and that was my goal. But that was after I graduated college.
I like
That
Madison Theater.
That's where I work.
I
That's
saw
why
Cal Scrooby there in the spring.
Hey, nice. That's cool.
Same
That's
high
cool.
school.
Hey, nice.
Come to the store next time you're in town, Kyle. I know your older brother. I'm in between. I'm sandwich. I'm younger than his older brother and older than him.
That's dope. But like,
He's fire, by the way.
yeah, he is.
Super fire.
He is
Really
fire.
good.
He really is fire.
Really good.
But like the avoiding of a cubicle is kind of my thing. I just don't want to go there. But I do
Dude,
love
it's like mind sucking. I mean, it's
exactly.
terrible. It's
But I do love Dilbert.
terrible. The comic strip.
Yeah, I will say that I love Dilbert. That's my dad's little put on. But
Well,
because he went to
it
the
communicated the banality of that lifestyle.
yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. So, but like I really avoided a cubicle, and here we are now. Like we were talking about the website earlier. My goal was to ultimately help.
You're in a Tiffany suede pilot chair instead of a cubicle. That's a win.
cool,
Hey,
right?
these are
Yes.
these are the Pee Wee Herman chairs,
I know.
bro.
I
This
like
is
those.
Cherry 1 and Cherry 2.
Right. Yeah, they're
Those
so
are
dope.
real sweet.
Yeah, we even have Cherry up here. The Funko, he's over there. But like my goal is always to help artists make a living doing art. That's kind of like the motto within my
Bailey.
goal. Hey, there's Bailey. But yeah, like, and here we are, helping artists make a living doing art, because like that's what we're about. And like at the end of the day, like cubicles have a place in the society. There's organization there, but like I'm here for the colors and like the creatives
Yeah,
and
well, some people like that.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They're like don't
And-
understand this and really like that, and that's fine. You
yeah,
do you.
we all
I'm
have
just
a
doing me.
place. Exactly. And like it's amazing that we find people like yourself and you guys get connects us, and like we have a lot of similarities, right? So like that's the thing, is like connecting all these people too, because that's kind of where I'm at too, is as a connector in this world. Like connect my friends, connect the people that need to be in the
It's
places,
that-
and we fit these puzzle pieces, you know.
That Little Miss Sunshine quote from the younger guy who was in There Will Be Blood. He says, "You do what you love, and fuck the rest."
Do what
Love
you
it.
love. Yeah.
I really fuck with that quote.
Do what you love. Fuck the rest. Be there for who wants you, not who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Make it for who wants you. Just don't try to appease everyone, because there's no way. There's always going to be a hater at the end of the day.
You
Just-
try to make.
yeah.
If you try to like market to everyone, you're kind of not marketing to anyone.
Anyone, right? Yeah, I was about to go there too. Yeah,
Mhm.
'Cause yeah, then that's. But you're here now. Like you've been doing it for a long time. Like your future plan to have multiple stores. Like, so what steps are you kind of trying to take to make that happen at this time? Are you building up more like merchandise?
I got
yeah.
enough inventory.
Enough
That's
inventory.
For sure.
Okay.
Step
The
one,
store-
I got to pay rent.
Yeah.
The
I gotta
store's
make the
fresh,
first
right?
one
The
work.
store's fresh.
Mhm.
Store's fresh.
Yeah, I
It's
just
only-
opened the very end of June.
Okay, so you're fresh. Okay, but you
It's
know
like
what?
been just a couple months.
Right? But
This is the first like promotion I've been doing. Thank you,
Yeah.
you guys, for having me on
Yeah,
here.
man,
Bro.
that's
Thanks
awesome.
for coming down.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we that's the thing, is when he was telling me about it, I was checking it out, and the first thing I saw was those Rams jerseys, and I'm like, okay, like I see.
Yeah, he was like,
yeah.
whoa, scroll back up.
Right, I was like, okay,
Oh,
then
like that.
that
No,
guy
I made you look.
all got me real quick. Yeah. And so I was like, all right,
I
from this
love
point
that squad.
forward,
I love that team.
it was me too. They were just the best.
Got some
Yeah.
big boy Kurt Warner's coming, being listed on Friday.
Oh, that's sick.
Hey, dope.
I asked him, I was talking to him, like, do you ever get a Adam Archuleta?
Oh, I would freak out if I found one, but I don't.
See, I told you that
That's
guy.
tight.
I was telling him like,
I know who you're talking about.
oh yeah, Adam Archuleta. He was like no joke. He's the reason I got into like watching defense on football. Because before then I was like, offense like anyone, but then I started watching the defense because of Adam Archuleta and one of the Monday
Is
Night
he a
Footballs.
corner?
He was he was playing linebacker, like a linebacker
okay.
safety kind of area, but like he was so strong that they would like drop the weights and he would catch it before it hit his chest and he would give it back to him.
Oh my God.
And they did workouts in chains and all this stuff with him. So this same Monday Night Football,
Appreciate you guys, man.
thanks for coming in. That Monday Night Football, the wide receiver gives the ball, and he basically, when they're explaining his strength, this same moment, he takes the ball right from the wide receiver and puts the wide receiver into the ground and runs backwards. So like
Like two things at once.
yeah, he
Strength.
showed off his strength while when they had talked about his
and
strength.
multitasking.
It was like the NFL had like planned this, and I saw this moment. I was like, dude, that is the coolest play. So I became a huge fan, and then I started studying defense. So now it's cool as like I have a sports podcast I do with a buddy, so like with Yaman, and so it's helped me talk football because I started paying attention to defense because of him, literally of all players. But like if you get an Adam Archuleta,
I'll let you know.
yes, a medium.
I'm never doing IDP fantasy, but I'll let you know about Archuleta jersey.
That would be
I
so
got-
dope. That would be a rare one. That would be a
Bobby,
very
I got a
Yeah.
question, bro. How good
Yes,
are
sir.
you with hot stuff?
Awful.
Oh.
But we can, if you want to see me cry on TV, it's cool.
You wanna try the pocky
Would
chip?
you eat it?
You wanna do the
fucking- YOLO. I don't care.
So this one here, this is the half a chip that I had from last week.
Okay.
So it's only half a chip.
All right. Let's do it. I
You-
see that pineapple chaser in front of me.
Okay.
You gonna try it?
Wait, is there
All
some
right.
right here?
You don't.
Yeah, here, take
Not
this
that?
one.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
one's empty.
Okay.
yeah.
Here, I'll go ahead and let you open it up and do the whole thing. You sure you want to try it? I appreciate you, bro.
Why
This
not?
is-
Why not?
Okay.
YOLO and such.
YOLO.
If I can open it.
I'm glad we talked about how to martial out of it.
So just make sure once you touch the chip, to,
I might run away off camera in a second. I'm about to pee my pants anyway.
yeah, I was gonna say as soon as this is done, we can wrap up the
So,
podcast.
okay. So
Okay.
can I break this in half?
Absolutely.
Okay. I didn't know if this was already in half.
Here's a napkin for you.
Yeah. Do you have Kleenex? You got a coffin?
Oh boy. It's gonna be one for the books, man.
Yeah.
All right, ready.
My boy Bobby from Legit Vintage, he just said that he doesn't do good with hot stuff, but we
Really not good.
got 2 glasses of tequila in him, and I think he's
These headphones are about to come off. I might need to run a lap to the
Yeah. That's all right.
banyo. All right.
all right, man. So Legit Vintage is all the social media if you want to find you on
At Legit Vintage, yes sir.
at Legit Vintage, and then the address to the store.
2723 Woodburn. Burn. Emphasis on burn.
Hey,
Ooh, baby.
you're taking it better than I did, man.
I gotta go.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody. This is gonna wrap up
Love
another
you.
episode of the Powwow. Bobby, I love you, bro. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here. Everyone, go check him out. He's got over 2,000 legit vintage pieces on eBay as well. So if you can't get to the store right away, we can we'll drop a tag below so you can
Call 911.
It's all right.
All right, bro. I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run to the restroom as well, so
All
we'll
right.
wrap this up.
Yeah, man. That was a good.
Is that instant buyer's remorse, bro?
Yeah, it's in my eyeball.
Oh, it's in your eyes? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to wipe that out real quick. All right, man. Bobby Blaze in the building. All right. There he goes. He's out of here. Yeah, that chip's no joke, bro, especially if you get into your eye like that. I got it in my eye last week, and my skin, like even my eyebrow was burning, bro. Like it was no joke. All right,
Oh,
everybody. I
man.
think this is going to wrap up another episode of the Powwow.
he took that like a champ, though.
He sure did, bro.
he just took that.
I have a feeling he's probably going to end up just spitting it up in the bathroom, bro. That thing is no joke.
That's
Especially if he was like, sure, I'll do it. Like,
he was ready.
I don't like hot things. I'll do it.
Yeah, the hottest thing.
Man. All right.
All right, bro.
All right, everybody. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Legit Vintage. So they're on Woodburn, right over there in Western Hills, right? So we'll leave we'll drop a comment below, or you can just look up Bobby or Legit Vintage on all the
Yeah.
social media platforms. LEGITVINTAGE, Legit Vintage. It's your boy Jay Banks.
AI.
Hey, we'll see you next week in
Appreciate
another
you.
episode of the Powwow.
Later.
Liquid Death, Duffified, and One Heart Medical.
Come
We
check out-
appreciate you
Come
guys.
check out Beyond the Stage. Come check
Beyond
us
the
out.
Stage,
Let's do
man.
it. We're live now, man. It's,
I
it's
gotta
on.
be here for the next one, bro.
Let's
I
go.
heard the next show is
Rye.
gonna be insane.
September 28th, Thursday.
All right,
Let's
man.
get
We'll
it.
see you guys then. Appreciate you for
Appreciate you.
tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Another episode of the
Bye.
Powwow. Let's go see how the boy's doing, man. He's
Oh man.
wasn't Tyrell. Tyrell said he was hugging the toilet seat like with puke all over the floor. Like, just leave me be.
Man. That chip is no joke.